Derek Shelton as a manager is more so about Derek Shelton the person, and I think that's what's attractive. It's just a genuine human who isn't afraid to give you the right, an honest answer. And I think when you get an honest answer from people, that you tend to respect them a little more.
His office is always open, so going in there, shooting the breeze, kicking your feet up, and talking baseball, he's one of the best.
Man, I'll run through a wall for that guy, bro. He's the best. I think just his energy, his charisma, and some of the things he said to me, and just what he expected of me.
A lot of respect for a guy who has worked very hard to get here. Derek Shelton cracked the big leagues in 2005 and until 2009 was the Indians hitting coach. He held the same role with the Rays before moving on to eventually join Toronto for a year as their quality control coach. Of course, we saw him with the Twins in 2018 and 2019. And then 2020 was named manager of the Pittsburgh Pirates, but here he is back in the Twin Cities as the 15th manager of the Minnesota Twins. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the ballpark. I'm Audra Martin. It has been a very special journey for Derek Shelton, a guy who has a lot of very fond memories of this ballpark. There's the division title, the Bomba Squad, of course, and many more. When you look back on the journey, now it's extra special to realize that it has come full circle. And with that said, any home opener is one to remember, but this one will pack an extra punch.
Because there's a buzz about it. I mean, it's the only day of the year that most of you probably dress as nice as you do. You know, you see ties on people that you normally don't see ties on. But I think there's just, I said it opening day in Baltimore. I really feel that in your home city it should be a national holiday. Now, it is a holiday in some regards today, but the fact that there's just an overall different excitement for an opening day.
Well, certainly not your typical opening day, but baseball is about to get underway at Target Field. First pitch and more comes your way after this.
We can spend more and earn more. What's in your wallet?
Crispy chicken sandwiches are on sale for $3.99 and 8-piece bone-in chicken only $9.99.
endless ways to Easter M&Ms.
Minnesota is accustomed to the cold.
I'm going to talk about my friend now, who I have to apologize for getting outside. Leon Purvis. Oh, boy. It's Leon Purvis, Arctic Explorer.
And while that bundled enthusiasm may not be universal,
a lot of standing around in the cold weather. Yeah, it's not my favorite.
the joy of watching white give way to green certainly is. As we look forward to the home field advantage returning with the call to play ball.
I can't wait to run out onto the field and hear my name being called and hearing the fans cheer. That's what it's all about.
Spring signals a new start.
Awesome. Yeah, it's going to be fun here.
With young faces.
I mean, he comes to the field like at 1,000 miles an hour every single day. We kind of feed off that.
New leadership.
I'll run through a wall for that guy, bro. He's the best.
And fresh goals.
I want to win as many baseball games as we possibly can, and I want to play in October. Those are my goals.
That's well hit, right center. Yastrzemski turns at the wall, and it's gone.
I mean, what a start to your big league career. Absolutely incredible.
Into right field and deep, but it's gone, and the Twins have their first grand slam. So shack those shovels and grab the leather. It's time for a baseball homecoming. And Walter's safe. Now that's a call we'd never get sick of.
Never gets old. It means baseball season's officially here.
All right, we back. Let's go.
Minnesota Twins baseball is presented by Progressive. And welcome back to Target Field as we are moments away from the 17th season. Commencing here at the ballpark, Twins and the Rays moments away from opening up the home portion of the calendar here in Twins territory. And the weather, cloudy and cool, temperatures in the upper 30s. Light wind here today. It rained earlier. The Twins did do some work on the field, including batting practice. The Tampa Bay Rays, though, did not. Their BP rained out. And Tampa Bay, like the Twins, off to a 2-4 start, but the Twins are back home. And, yep, a few of the guys are bundled up today. See, Byron Buxton has the balaclava ready to go. So he is getting ready for another home opener here at the ballpark, Twins and the Rays. This has been a fun series in recent years. In fact, each of the last 7 games between the Rays and the Twins here at Target Field have been decided in the final at-bat. So this should be fun. It always has been here between these two teams. Back here at the ballpark, Corey Provis, Justin Morneau. Just feels right, man. Just feels so good to be back here at One Twins Way.
No matter what the temperature is, there's nothing better than the home opener. And I think the boys, I'm sure, woke up excited. I woke up excited, and I haven't had an opening day as a player in 10 years. So it really means a lot. It's so nice to see so many people waiting in line to get here, excited for baseball season. And we just got delayed just a little bit. But you know what? I don't think that's going to stop anyone's enjoyment of opening day.
Yeah, fans of all ages ready to see the Twins and the Rays. And the Twins coming off a win yesterday in Kansas City, 5-1, hit 3 homers in the 9th inning. And Royce Lewis starting at third base today. But before he takes the field for that, he's standing by with Audra Martin.
All right, Royce, atypical to start the home opener. Little delayed, little cold, but how special is today?
Oh, so special to see the many fans that came out today celebrating us and celebrating the new season is special.
You've had some big moments here at this ballpark. What does Target Field and this fan base mean to you?
It means so much just to hear their joy and their ahs and cheers. It made my day, so I appreciate it.
Have fun today. Go get them.
Thank you. Let's go.
Back to you guys.
All right, Audra, thank you. And Royce, a couple of home runs early on in his season. And we'll see if he could add to those numbers here today. The Rays have been in town since Wednesday night, enjoyed an off day in the cities yesterday. Kevin Cash is the longest tenured active manager in the game. Year number 12 with Tampa Bay. Like the Twins, his Rays off to a 2-4 start. And let's take a look at the Rays lineup here today. It begins with Yandy Diaz at the top, and the Rays lineup is brought to you by Ford. Diaz, in fact, he leads all of baseball so far in hits. Jonathan Arandas, great player. 2 homers this young season. Junior Caminero, he's been quiet so far, but coming off a 45 home run season. Former Baltimore Orioles Cedric Mullins is in center field. Chandler Simpson among the faster players in the game. He is in left. And Carson Williams will bat 9th and play short for Tampa Bay today. In that group, we'll see Bailey Ober as we take a look at Bailey's career numbers here, Morty, brought to you by CarShield.
Yeah, Bailey, one of the more reliable starters in a Twins uniform that the Twins have had in recent memory. Threw okay, made, as Derek Shelton said in a pregame, threw okay in his last start, made one mistake, Tyler O'Neill home run, but used that changeup very effectively. It'll be interesting to see his velocity in this colder weather. Does he have a feel for that changeup? That is his best pitch. He threw that more than he threw any other pitch in his last start. But let's see what it looks like today. Here we go.
Yandy Diaz, 6 feet, 235-pound DH, a swing and a miss. And with that, we're underway. A fastball at 89 miles an hour. And in Bailey's first start Sunday against the Orioles, Morning, only 2 swing and misses the entire game. He gets one of the first pitch of the game as Diaz pops it up behind the plate. Jeffers measuring near the net and out of room.
Yeah, no swings and misses on that fastball. So good sign to see him, as he always does, attacking the strike zone. Jeffers just ran out of room there.
Mesh cam.
Be interesting to see how often he goes to that sweeper. That over the last couple of years has been a good swing and miss pitch for him.
Diaz, a tough guy to strike out, and doesn't offer at the sweeper. And there is ball one. Diaz, 2 homers, 8 knocked in, now 34 years old. He led the American League in batting, was the batting champion in 2023. Changeup misses down low, 2-2. The changeup caught your attention both in terms of usage for Bailey, but also against righties on Sunday.
Yeah, more changeups than any other pitch, as I said in that start. About equal amount to the righties and lefties. You got to keep them honest. I think I said before, the slower you throw, the more you have to pitch effectively inside. Opens up the outside part of the plate. Looked like he was leaning there. That ball wasn't all that far inside, but you got something moving away in your mind.
3-2 pitch is crushed to left down the line. This will be foul, and this one is going to land. Boy, near the Surfside iced tea and vodka bar. Ricocheted off the facing and found the fans down below. Now Diaz as strong as they come in the game. 25 homers last year, and Ober got ahead 0-2 but loses. Diaz to a walk, and the Rays have the leadoff man on.
Sure, if this was
Bring
a
up
walker,
Jonathan Aranda.
a walker hit by pitch, either way, he ends up on first base. Oh, that was just the sound of the glove that I heard. He's such a tough guy to pitch to because he uses the entire field. And Aranda does a nice job of that combination of hitting for average, hitting for power, not striking out a ton.
Slider misses to Aranda, who has reached base safely in 20 consecutive games. And that's the second longest active streak in the game. Only Shohei Ohtani has a longer on-base streak going than Aranda. And Ohtani's reached base safely in 37. Of course, both players, those numbers date back to last year. Diaz at first, Ober behind, 2-0 on Aranda. And now 3-0. Ober last year in 27 starts only walked 2 batters per 9. He walked 1 on Sunday. Junior Caminero is on deck. 3-0.
Well, the biggest strike zone is on 3-0 pitches, and the smallest strike zone is on 0-2 pitches historically with umpires. You just have
Challenge there by Aranda.
To weigh whether it's worth challenging or not.
Ryan Jeffers, he's been aggressive, challenging behind the plate. He's been very good. The Twins overall have been great. ABS challenges early on this season.
I think it's nice that they've had the freedom. The players have been encouraged to do it. Okay, let's be aggressive and then learn from that. Obviously, situations matter.
Diaz takes off. 3-2 pitch is flipped in the air to shallow right. And Wallner coming in. And Aranda flies out. Diaz back to first. Caminero coming up. We see Matt Wallner. How about the rest of the Twins defensively here, Morning?
Yeah, Buxton in center field as we're used to seeing. Always good to see him out there. Larnach at left. He's been playing a lot more defense than compared to last year when he DH'd a ton. Wallner, and then you got Lewis, Brooks Lee under the weather. So you got Tristan Gray at short, Keisho Clemens at first, and Jeffers behind the plate.
Back-to-back starts for Gray at short, and now Junior Caminero. What a year he put together last year. 45 home runs, 110 RBI. An all-star, deservedly so last year, Dominican-born. No homers, no RBI yet this year. And he has really struggled defensively. His 5 errors, including 4 alone at third base, that leads all of baseball. He finished the game on Wednesday in Milwaukee at first base, and right away dropped a throw.
Yeah, Rays have made 9 errors as a team. That's tied for the most in baseball.
2-0 pitch, and we saw that swing a lot last year. A rocket that'll find the wall in left. Diaz will make third. He'll be held on a double from Caminero, and the Rays have second and third, threatening in the opening inning.
Well, Caminero hasn't been getting a lot of pitches to hit. He's been pitched very carefully early in the season, but got himself in a hitter's count. It's probably a little bit actually above the zone, but he went up and got it, and that's the only way you can get to that pitch is to get on top of it. Got it all the way to the wall, but Larnach got it back in fast enough. Twins will play the infield in here. Cold day, not sure how good of a day it is going to be a hitter.
Well, Tampa Bay in a recent series with Milwaukee went 0 for 16 with runners in scoring position, and this is popped up on the infield. 3 Twins converge, and it's going to be Keyshaw taking charge. So the Rays struggled in that area earlier in the week, and Fraley with the infield in and 1 out. Pops out to Keyshaw. And now let's see if Ober can get out of it and retire the catcher, Nick Fortes.
It'll be interesting to see how many fastballs Fortes sees in this series. Almost every hit he's got has been on the fastball. He can cover velocity. He can use the entire field. And of course, first pitch fastball right down the middle.
Fortes is the first catcher in franchise history to reach base safely in each of the Rays' first 6 games. He has 7 hits in this young season, batting .351. And Tampa Bay entering play today, leading the American League in batting average, 3rd in on-base percentage. The 1-1. Fortes, 29 years old, drafted by Miami, 4th-round pick in 2018. With the Rays and the Marlins last year. Line to left center over the head of Tristan Gray, and that's going to find the wall, and 2 runs will score. So 1-0 off the bat from Fortes, and the Rays, 5 batters in, have a 2-0 lead.
And that was on the fastball. Right in the middle part of the zone. Really interesting to see him kind of go after him there. Obviously, that's not where he wanted that pitch to end up. But Mullins has really struggled with the bat to start the year. Fell behind in the count. Guy who's covered fastballs well so far in the early part of the season. Got himself one right down the middle. Didn't miss it.
Yeah, good point. Here's Mullins at the plate. There was a base open. 1 for 21 is the veteran Mullins so far to start the year. An all-star in 2021, long time Baltimore Oriole. Finished last season with the Mets. New center fielder for Tampa Bay. 1-1. Yeah, the idea of pitching around guys, Morty, it is more common later in games, but managers, wouldn't you say, early on, that first, second inning, hesitant to do so?
Yeah, I think also sometimes, you know, with how he's kind of ran some deep counts early, it's not like you want to put more traffic out there. It's not like all of a sudden you pitch around a guy, you don't give in, and then he's been so dialed that you expect him to go strike 1, strike 2. So I think sometimes that has something to do with it as well.
Two and 2 on Mullins. 31 years old. Long inning for Ober, 25 pitches, and Derek Shelton's team is down 2 early. Fortes at second. There's a bite on the changeup. Ben Williamson on deck if this inning continues. Now the payoff from Bailey. And Mullins strikes out. And the inning is over, but the Rays strike for 2 on the 2-out, 2-run double from Nick Fortes.
Don't wait. File before 4:15.
Derek Shelton, 11 wins, last 19 home games against the Rays. Try and add to that number here today. Twins are coming up. It'll be Clemens, Buxton, and Keyshaw. The Twins lineup is brought to you by Menards. Familiar look at the top when the Twins see a righty with Cody leading things off with Keyshaw, Matt Wallner. Home run yesterday, as did Josh Bell. Ryan Jeffers, Trevor Larnach, his third start in left with Royce and Tristan Gray. For the ill, Brooks Lee at shorts, and Cody Clemens. Fastball 98 low from Joel Boyle. Like Bailey Ober morning, tall dude.
I think the biggest thing for him is getting him in the strike zone. Overpowering stuff. Fastball averages 98.5 miles an hour.
Look out. That one behind the back.
Spike got caught on the way. And lost his footing. Surprised he actually got this pitch off. It's like, I want to get hit by this. No, I don't want to get hit by this.
Clemens needed to tape up his nose yesterday. Slide at second base. Ahead of Boyle, 2 balls and no strikes. And that's not even close. And command held Boyle back throughout his minor league career, even last year. Walk rate around 12%, but pretty good command in his first outing against St. Louis.
And when the stuff
96 for strike one.
When the stuff is that powerful and when it's that good, as most pitchers figure out over the course of time, hitting is really hard. You got to throw it over. But if you're behind in counts and if the Twins are able to take advantage of it, we saw it in the last half inning. Bailey Ober leadoff walk. That came around to score. See if the Twins can answer back right away. See how aggressive Buck is early in this at bat. Got a guy out there with a reputation of not being a strike thrower. Cold day. It's kind of all over the place in Cody Clemens at bat. Maybe didn't get the call on the first pitch of the game, but
84 lifetime home runs at Target Field, currently tied with Max Kepler for the most home runs at this ballpark. A chance to separate himself from his former outfield teammate right away today. Buxton looking for home run number 1 of the season, as 1 RBI.
They're looking to find that rhythm at the plate. We know when Buck's going good, he's taking those borderline pitches and he's absolutely hammering those ones that you leave over the plate.
Breaking ball did not break, stayed up. Had a 1-1 count on Byron. 174 early on in the year. I'll go foul.
There's some wind in the ballpark today. There's some elements that are going to come into play. We saw it on that pop-up when the Twins had the infield in. All three infielders trying to cover each other just in case somebody lost it or it ends up where they're not expecting.
Twins haven't scored a first inning run yet this year. As sweeper stays alive 1-2. Speaking of the wind, let's take a look at the conditions right now. StatCast 3D is powered by Google Cloud.
It's kind of interesting in this ballpark the way it can swirl. It can come in off that plaza and shoot out to center. And the higher you go, the more different that it plays. Is that a word? More different?
Differently?
Differenter?
Differenter.
English class will be open after.
2-2 on Byron. Sixth pitch coming up with this at bat. And a check swing. It's a strike. 97 a sinker. And Boyle struck out around 10 batters per 9 last year. Picks up number 1 so far today.
Yeah, I don't know if Buck had something else on his mind or was just respecting the ball down, had his sights set up. But when he's going good, he's not letting that one fly. Hopefully it clicks for him soon.
Keyshaw got a big hand as he was announced during the pregame festivities today. His first opening day roster. And the fans love what they saw of Keyshaw. Look at those numbers here at Target Field last year alone in 29 games at .314. A walk-off home run against Kansas City out to right center.
Walk-off home run to the opposite field after a conversation I had with him early in the day. Not like I could hit oppo homers. I can't go. I think what he said is I can't go backside like those guys. And then he goes up over the scoreboard in right center. And, oh, that'll endear yourself to a fan base.
Strike 2 on Keyshaw. He'll take his time out here.
It's just interesting to see how he's going to react in the early going. Obviously swung the bat well in Kansas City. Kind of got the numbers turned around. He was very aggressive early in counts in those at-bats in Baltimore. Are they going to pitch him differently? What adjustments is he going to need to make as the year goes on?
And something we talked about with Keyshaw yesterday morning, bat speed with Keyshaw is up considerably this young season.
I guess probably the health in that right arm having something to do with it. You know, another year removed from that Tommy John surgery, another just a regular offseason of him going about his business, getting stronger.
Now jammed to the right side. That's going to hang up for Williamson. And the former Mariners squeezes it. So Keyshaw 2 down. Clemens still at first. It's up to Matt Wallner. But first we take a look at our keys to the game, brought to you by Toyota.
Well, mental toughness being one of them. The weather, something you can't control. It's the same for both teams. You had a little delay. You weren't expecting that. And then feed off the crowd. A good crowd. Close to a sellout. People showed up or sticking around, excited for a game. Use that to your advantage if it's possible. We saw good energy on that road trip as well, especially in Kansas City. You get down miserable conditions, 12-1, and having to get the closer in the game. I know moral victories don't mean much, but it does show there's a lot of fight in this team. There is an offense that can put up runs in bunches from time to time.
Look out inside near the hands at 97. Wallner, a couple of home runs in Kansas City. Deep yesterday out to left center.
In a spot that was not a home run the year before. You guys did a good job of covering that in that series. Kansas City doesn't seem like much, but I'm sure Wallner appreciated it.
Clemens' leadoff walk hasn't moved. As Wallner waits for the 1-2 from Boyle. And a challenge here from Fortes, the first ABS challenge at Target Field. And the ABS challenge is powered by T-Mobile. It is a ball. And the Rays lose an early challenge.
Well, they talk about using these in leverage situations. Can you end an at-bat? Do you have the bases loaded as a hitter? When do you use your challenges? I think they're still going to learn as the year goes along, but about as close as it gets.
So one challenge left for Tampa Bay. 2-2 upcoming to Matt Wallner. And Wallner strikes out on a fastball at 97. 2 strikeouts for Boyle. And the Twins do nothing with the leadoff walk to Clemens. Bailey Ober gave up 2 in the first. He's back on the mound when we come back. .27 pitch first inning, just 13 strikes for Bailey Ober. Wins down 2 as Ober faces Ben Williamson. Shows bunt, pulls it back, infield hits. That's a strength for this Tampa Bay offense. 10 infield hits. That leads all of baseball early on. But Bailey Ober's arm angle caught our attention, Morty, after one start this season.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if that's the way it is the rest of the year, if that's an adjustment he made. Like anytime you lower your arm slot in general, you think that ball's going to run more side to side. So maybe he's trying to get a little more run on that sinker that he's throwing. And then a little more side to side on that sweeper, that slider. And even a little more fade on that changeup as well.
Just low. Good no challenge there from Jeffers. And a 2-2 count. And asking a Twins pitcher today about that topic, and he told me, a 5-degree drop is noticeable, is significant. And that is just outside and a tad low, so a 3-2 count to Williamson. He was a second-round pick by Seattle and then found his way to the Rays. Back in February was a 3-team multiplayer trade, Tampa Bay, Seattle, and St. Louis. And a lot of names moving around, including Brendan Donovan, going from St. Louis to Seattle in that same trade that sent Williamson from the Mariners to the Rays.
Seems like anytime there's a 3-team trade, the Rays somehow are involved.
Right?
It's amazing how they turn over with their roster, how they're still able to be so consistent year after year. Especially playing in that division they play in. I mean, that's as tough as it gets, the depth and good teams, high payrolls. They kind of figured out a different way to do it, and everybody tried to catch up to what they were doing, and they're still been very successful with it.
77 wins last year, no playoffs the last 2 years. To shallow right, Wallner coming in and read it well. And Williamson lines out softly for out number 1 here in the second. Yeah, but Tampa Bay had a run of 5 straight years of reaching the playoffs, 2019 through 2023, and then last year a challenging year in that they were not playing any games at Tropicana Field because of Hurricane Milton, the damage that Tropicana Field took on, and really that whole Tampa, St. Petersburg area. Remember, the Rays, they played their home games in Tampa at the Yankees spring training facility, and the schedule was different. They had to really put some of their games, no roof there, had to play home games early, home games late. They had a ton of lengthy road trips in the middle part of the season to avoid just oppressive humidity.
Well, and also the fact that wherever you decided you were going to live, it was a completely different side of town. So the convenience, the routine, all of those things that you like about being home, and part of the reason why teams are, one of the many reasons, but why teams are more successful at home, you just have that comfort of sleeping in your own bed. All that stuff was so disrupted for those guys last year. I don't know whether they were complaining or not. I never heard anything of it. You never really heard. Just the situation was tough and you got to deal with it, and they did a good job. And Kevin Cash, the longest tenured manager, as we pointed out earlier in the broadcast, seems to keep his guys pretty well focused and concentrating on what matters.
Swing and a miss. Good change up there from Over. Strikes out Williams. So Bailey bounces back. Some soft contact and a 1-2-3 second for the Bearded Nightmare here at Target Field.
Is the power of us.
There's a good look at our progressive wire cam and a new spot this year. Take a trip down the right field line towards the concourse. A brand new look. Really enjoyed that vantage point with our progressive wire cam last year. Morning, it's back for another year, but from a different vantage point.
Love it. Anything that gives the fans a better view.
We've enjoyed the view of Josh Bell's swing the last couple of days. Back-to-back home runs, one from the right side. Homered yesterday left-handed. And seeking to homer for the 3rd straight game for the 6th time in his career. Late on that Boyle splitter. That's a 1-2 count to Josh Bell. Now, Joe Boyle, Missouri native, but pitching in cool temperatures, somewhat familiar with this going back to college. Attended Notre Dame. Fighting Irish. In the rotation for the injured Ryan Pepio. He's on the IL right now. And Boyle making his 2nd start. Recovered after some bumps early against the Cardinals and retired the last 16 batters he faced over the weekend.
Well, when you throw as hard as he does, when you're able to fill up the zone, when you're able to work in front as opposed to behind the major league hitters, you have a good chance of being successful.
Strikes out Bell at 96. Third strikeout for Boyle. And one away here in the Twins' second.
It's a decent carry on that fastball. It's interesting for as tall as he is. 6'8", Bailey over 6'9". Bailey over gets over 7 feet down the mound. He's only about 6.5 feet, so not for as tall as he is. That foot gets down a little quicker, but he still has obviously elite velocity, especially for a starting pitcher. Just the difference and the information the guys have now. All right, who is he similar to? What does it look like? Does it get on you? Does it feel like he's releasing the ball on top of you? A lot of it is feel. You know, a lot of the numbers kind of translate into conversations of what's it like? You know, what's his fastball play? Does it play up? Does it kind of play the number?
And Jeffers on a sweeper strikes out looking. So locked him up there. Back-to-back strikeouts, now 4 for Boyle so far today. So Boyle 6'8", Bailey over 6'9", so that's what, 13 feet 5 inches of height. And Derek Shelton was asked about the height of both starters before the game. He said, yeah, you know, we had a jump ball, opening tip, we won it, so that's why we're the home team today.
I think I'd take Bailey over on the post.
Like you would pick him over Boyle, or
yeah,
you think
yeah.
you could take him down low and say that I can take Bailey in the low blocks and dominate?
Absolutely not me.
Okay, just making sure we're clear. Have to be careful now. All you guys, you throw out things, and former teammate of yours in spring training mentioned something out of left field, and that became interesting. So just got to double check.
Yep. Appreciate the help.
You got it. 0-2 on Trevor Larnach, his third start. It's been tough for Larnach to get out there and play, and at bats, Twins saw 3 straight lefties in Kansas City.
We got another one going tomorrow as well.
Good numbers for Larnach last 18 games here at Target Field. Well hit up the middle on the hop. Played nicely by Williams, and the low throw is dug out by Aranda. So another near error, but Aranda made the scoop at a 1-2.
Others promise, Postman delivers.
Welcome back to Target Field, where we have a whole slew of MVPs, VIPs in the house, including Mike Schultz, snowboarding legend, 4-time Paralympic medalist, 10-time X Game gold medalist, and most importantly, maybe, Minnesota native. It is so great to have you here, Mike. How special is it to be here at the ballpark with a bunch of fellow Olympians?
Yeah, so I've done this before, but never at the opening game, and never with a whole crew of Team USA athletes, which that was the coolest part, being on the pitching mound and just being surrounded by all that hardware. That was incredible.
Your career is incredible, and you know, yeah, now you can add throwing out the first pitch to an impressive resume. But you look at your journey. You were competing 6 months after your injury, and everything that you have accomplished, and now coming back with a bronze medal after your final Paralympic Games. What are you most proud of?
It's been a ride. I mean, I started out in motorsports, dirt bikes and snowmobiles, and then after my injury, creating prosthetics to get me back into riding, and that opened the door up into snowboarding. And just looking back at the whole journey and how it unfolded and all these opportunities, like I never thought I'd be part of Team USA, nor a multi-time medalist. And I love those awards, those medals, but I'm also connected to it much deeper with the prosthetics I build with my company Biodapt, and supporting and helping out so many other Paralympic snowboard athletes. That goes real deep.
Yeah, you've done incredible things helping so many athletes, and obviously there's a lot of people at home, athletes and young kids at home that may be in a similar situation. What would you say to some of those young athletes and athletes across the state that are wondering, can I get back into sports? Can I do this? What would you tell them?
Oh man, sport is the most powerful thing to help you move forward, both mentally and physically. And so it's just finding that activity or that sport that you're truly passionate about and taking one step at a time. If you're recovering from an injury or whatever the case may be, it's like, man, set that goal high and then work your way backwards, create that plan and just keep your feet moving. And eventually you'll get there if you're motivated enough.
That's incredible and so well said. We really appreciate you joining us, and congratulations on a spectacular career. Enjoy the latest bit of bling that's hanging around your neck.
Yeah, thank you. This one feels good, so good.
Well deserved. Guys, back to you.
Audra, thank you, and Mike, thank you for your time, and congratulations on a remarkable career. Litchfield, Minnesota native, lost his leg at a snowmobile race in 2008 and said, you know what, my chapter and my life is going to move on, and I'm going to shift my attention to the Paralympics, and what a decorated career he has had. So congratulations, Mike, and thanks for joining us, and welcome back to the ballpark.
Well said. Absolutely incredible.
2 up, 2 down for Bailey Ober to Junior Caminero. Change up, 0-2 on Caminero, doubled and scored back in the first. So we see this righty-righty change up again from Bailey.
And we see that lower arm slot. He's getting some good depth on it. See him turn it over. You see the seams on the ball, the way it comes out of his hand, and then it just dives late. It is a weapon for him, and it's a pitch he trusts the most. Let's see if he goes back to it here, or see if they try and go above the zone for the chase.
Jeffers sets up well off the corner. Jeffers happy with where Ober landed that pitch, but Caminero did not offer. Caminero, Dominican-born, was with the Dominican team in the WBC. One hop to third. It's Royce with the glove and the skip. Dug out by Clemens. Good play all around. And that's back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings for Bailey Ober. Hey, did someone say free ice cream? Well, Sunday is Kids Opening Day at Target Field, and the first 5,000 kids 12 and under receive a Twins beanie and free ice cream presented by Target. Join in on the fun. Get your tickets right now at twins.com/tickets. Those Twins beanies looking good today.
Never a bad
Ballpark
day.
munchies.
Never a bad day for ice cream, even when it's cold.
Also, you would often say ice cream as Forest, so it'd be
Lieutenant Dan ice cream.
Ice cream. Nice play by Royce Lewis, defensively ending the Rays' third. First at bat for Royce today. Sips by Boyle and misses the second base bag, and played by Williamson. 1 out. I thought, Morty, when the size of the bases increased from 15 inches to 18 inches, we'd see more balls in play that do, kick off the bases, but it really doesn't happen too often.
Yeah, actually, that one off the bat I thought was going to, but you're right, it is still rare. Even though the size increased, how much we haven't seen it as be a factor.
7 straight retired by Boyle after walking Cody Clemens to begin the game. Tristan Gray, his first ever game at Target Field, his second straight start at shorts. Brooks Lee under the weather. And Brooks was unavailable yesterday, and Derek Shelton did not completely rule out Lee playing if needed today.
And I think that's something, whether he's good to go or not, it's a smart thing for a manager to say. A switch hitter, a guy on the bench. You don't want to let the guy in the other dugout know if somebody's not available, so maybe he gets a reliever up, thinking that Brooks might be coming in off the bench.
And Boyle, after finding the strike zone since the opening batter, walks Gray on 4 straight. It's the second walk for Gray this season, and the Twins have their second base runner.
Well, you see if we're able to take advantage. The Rays have allowed 10 stolen bases, have thrown out none of those, no attempted base stealers so far this season. Is that something that they're able to take advantage of? Boyle, 2 stolen bases allowed in his last start.
Cody, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts to begin his season. Gray at first base, Aranda holding him on. That'll be in the seats, and it's 1-1. Well, the Twins put things away in the 9th inning yesterday in Kansas City, and the long ball played the big role. Cody Clemens, a part of it with Wallner and Bell. A 3-homer 9th in a 5-1 win.
Everybody loves homers. Wouldn't mind seeing one here this inning. The top of the order coming up. Second look at Boyle. Especially if he continues to fall behind in counts. See if you could pick one pitch to sit on. His repertoire, he added back in a couple of pitches that he had thrown in the past, a sweeper and a curveball. Last year he was 4-seam, split, slider. Now he's added in a sinker as well. You wonder sometimes for a guy who has struggled in the past to throw strikes, is adding in more things to work on, more pitches to have a feel for. Does that simplify things? Does it make it more difficult? So far early in his first start, it was good.
Check swing and a swing. Oh. Says Tripp Gibson at third. So a 2-2 count. Big swing call here. Instead of 3-1, it's 2-2.
In the challenge system, that would be nowhere close to being a swing, but in the current system now, that did look like he went around.
Ryan Blakeney behind the plate. Gray at first, 1 out. Twins down 2. Joe Boyle has thrown here before, different conditions. He faced the Twins here at Target Field in early July last year and pitched well with 5 innings, no earned runs, a walk, and struck out 7. Gets away from Fortes, and advancing down to second is Gray.
It's the second time he's almost hit Clemens. The first one, first at bat leading off the bottom of the first, he caught his spike. That one there, will go down as a wild pitch. Just overcooked that breaking ball.
Wild pitch, advancing Gray. Full count now to Clemens. Byron on deck. 3-2. Stays alive. Fortes could not hang on. So that was a slider. I was just going to say, with the conditions and just spiked a breaking ball, if you're Clemens, do you just sit fastball? But Boyle threw a good slider there.
Well, as Perk says a lot, the best time to throw that pitch is throw it right after the previous one so you can make that correction right away. Look what he did there.
Cody, it's a foul tip and hung on to by Fortes. So a splitter, and Clemens' bat made contact, so 5th strikeout for Boyle. So 2 down for Buxton. I don't think he hit that.
I heard a sound. But that, even though it looked like he swung, it didn't look like that was a foul ball.
Ton of movement on that sweeper. Missing low ball 1. Byron 1 walk, 9 strikeouts early on this season.
And with Buck, we know that he's always one swing away. Whether it's barreling up a ball on the inside part of the plate and he pulls it foul off the retired numbers, or just that one swing where he fouls it straight back or he lines out to somebody. And we've seen it in the past. He can get hot as quick as anyone once he figures out that timing. He starts recognizing pitches.
Boyle goes in on Buxton and he pops it up. Caminero near his own dugout and makes the play. And the Twins get a walk, do not score. Still down 2 after 3. Let's keep it here for today's Twins Insider. In Twins territory is all about family, and one of the newest members actually has been around for decades. That's Twins 2026 MLB field coordinator Toby Gardner. He gives us an inside look at his relationship with his dad, Ron, and growing up around the Twins.
I think it's hard. It would be hard to say no because I was very lucky, and I grew up in the clubhouse. I grew up first of all around TK and watching TK and the way he did everything, and then watching my dad and the way he did everything. So I was a very lucky kid to be around all those guys. And when you're around great managers who've done great things, then you take a lot from them. So I've always tried to take as much as I can from what I learned from both TK and my dad.
Do you have a favorite moment growing up, either in the clubhouse or on the field or with your dad on a ball field?
I mean, I got a lot of them because I was around a lot. I was really lucky. In '91, he was a third base coach, so that was his first year up in the big leagues as a coach. And I was at all the World Series games in '91, and I was on the field and in the clubhouse after the team won the World Series. So, those things like that, it's kind of tough to beat, being on the field after World Series.
Good stuff there from Toby Gardner. Back here in the booth, Corey Probus and Justin Morneau. And for Toby, the emotions were obvious. They are today, but going back to Baltimore, Morney, the opening day, and for the first time, Toby Gardner on a major league roster. And emotions were pretty high for him going back to Thursday in Baltimore.
Well, you think of the journey he's traveled and the amount of time that, talking about paying your dues, he paid his dues and then some, and it earned his way up here. Respect from those guys in the clubhouse. A lot of the guys that came up through the Twin system, Toby has been around them. He's influenced them, I think. And to hear him speak, to think about learning from leaders, how important that is. He's done everything you can do in the minor league level as far as coaching goes, and now he gets to be a part of here. Really cool for me to see, obviously, seeing him around the clubhouse a ton during my playing career. Well-deserved and great to see him in a Twins uniform.
Bailey Ober back-to-back 1-2-3 innings as Jake Fraley leads off, followed by Fortes and Cedric Mullins. Fraley, the former Red, back with his original organization, was drafted by Tampa Bay in 2016 and was claimed off waivers from Atlanta in November. Fraley popped out to second. His first time up. Strike 1 on a changeup from Ober. Ober has walked 1, struck out 2, trying to come back behind Fraley 3-1. Line to right, and that's a base hit, and that ball will find the wall. As Fraley will make second base and stop. Well, the Rays have their 3rd hit, all 3 hits doubles, and the leadoff man is on for the Rays for the 2nd time today.
I think when you don't have as much trust in your fastball as you would like, he showed him change up the previous 2 pitches, so I think he didn't want to throw that 3 times in a row. So okay, what can I throw him to get him off the barrel? And they went with the slider there. You have to throw a strike, and ended up leaving it in the middle part of the plate, took advantage of it.
Now, the biggest swing so far came from this man. 2 outs and 2 on. Nick Fortes laced a double to left center and drove in runs 5 and 6 on the season. Which the Rays have struggled. We're struggling with runners in scoring position in Milwaukee, but Fortes came up with a big hit early. Over behind, 2 balls and no strikes, nobody out.
It's interesting with Bailey, if that, him lowering his arm slot a little bit, if that was intentional, if it is giving him a different feel with his pitches. Normally we're used to seeing him being a strike thrower, working ahead, throwing strike 1, no matter what he's working with that day. He's always aggressive around the zone. Today, falling behind in some counts, not as many first pitch strikes.
And Fortes out in front of that slider, 2-2.
Whatever he's got that day, he's going to compete with it. Just continue to make pitches, continue to try and keep him off balance.
Now the 2-2. Came back with a sweeper, and Fortes strikes out. So did damage Morning the first inning on a fastball. Did not see too many fastballs here in the 4th.
Yeah, this one really well located. You talk about a lot with 2 strikes, pitchers strike to ball. Keep that thing in the zone as long as you can, and then try and get the hitter to get himself out.
Mullins 0 for 1. Behind here in the 4th on a changeup. Derek Shelton had options to start opening day today. Remember, Sunday Bailey started, but Mick Abel piggybacked off of Ober in that game against the Orioles. So either guy could have gone on normal rest today. And asking Shelty about that before, and Mullins is going to challenge the strike call. And if he's wrong, the Rays are out of challenges. And Mullins was right. So Tampa Bay retains a challenge. This by almost 2 inches.
I think the hardest thing for these umpires is that the top of the zone changes with every hitter. Depending on the height of the hitter, now it's adjustable to each guy. It's a lot to expect those umpires behind the plate to be able to lock in on if that zone moves up and down every time. And which in the past, theoretically it should have changed, but guys kind of had their zone. They knew what the strike zone was, and Judge got a lot of balls below the zone called strikes that weren't strikes, and you wonder what Altuve and the difference in height. It's going to be very difficult, but these umpires we've seen how good they are. When they do miss, they're not missing by much.
2-2. Now remember how the strike zone now works for all batters with automated balls and strikes. Stance has nothing to do with it. The strike zone for each batter is individually based, as each guy was measured in spring training. No cleats in their socks, and it's 53.5% top of their height and 27% at the bottom. That's what makes up the strike zone hitter by hitter.
And as I said, that is a very, very difficult thing for the umpires to be able to figure out. You see a guy walking up to the plate going, all right, I need 54.5% of this guy's. There's the top of the zone. And I mean, they're still doing an incredible job with it, but it's tough.
3-2 on Mullins.
And I think the box that we don't have access to on our broadcast, but you get to see it at home, that is supposed to be specific now to every player. In the past, it was just the box was on the screen, and that was kind of what we were showing you as reference for the strike zone. Now it is supposed to be specific to each guy standing in the batter's box, the one you see at home on TV.
Jeffers, right near the opening day logo, has a play. And Mullins frustrated. Another at bat with a runner in scoring position and cannot move him over or bring him in. He's 0 for 2 and now 1 for 23 to start his season. So 2 down for the second baseman, Ben Williamson, playing second base for the injured Gavin Lux. Williamson at .253 with the Mariners last year. Yeah, but getting back to Ober or Abel, and Schulte said Bailey's experience certainly played a factor in him getting the nod today over Abel for the home opener.
Yeah, partly a respect thing for what Bailey's done in his career, and then partly just the emotions of opening day, the big crowd, everything else. You go with the veteran guy who's been there many times, and it also lets you give Abel another day of rest. He threw a lot more pitches in that start than Bailey did. I think Bailey was done after 56 pitches.
Behind Williamson 3-0, Chandler Simpson.
7th 3-ball count. 7 of them so far. Something we're not used to seeing from Bailey, and there's another 3-0. As I said, the zone is bigger in 3-0 pitches than any other count. This one very close. And it's smallest on 0-2. I think it'd be interesting to see how that changes with the ABS system.
Line fair. Down the line, and that will bring in Fraley. So Williamson will stop at second base. So another double, another RBI, and Tampa Bay ups the lead to 3.
This is the debate that has gone on forever. You get a leadoff double. Is it important to move him over, or do you want to take 3 chances to drive him in? And the Rays said, we're going to let our guys go up there. We're going to have 3 at-bats. We're going to give them 9 swings if they take them all, and see if you can drive that runner in from second base, and ended up working out for him there.
And 88, 89 up in the zone. The Rays hitters are able to see it and drive it.
I think the thing with Bailey too, with how good his changeup is, you're setting your sights in the top 2/3 of the zone. You're looking, from mid-thigh up to the top of the zone, as opposed to trying to a guy with a 98-mile fastball, that lives at the top of the zone. You're telling yourself walking up to the plate, I got to get him in the lower 2/3 of the zone. So with Bailey, you set your sights high, and that fastball averaging 89, 90 miles an hour. If he makes a mistake or leaves it over the heart of the plate, and if your zone is already set there as a hitter, you jump all over it. We've seen him take advantage of that a couple of times.
Two balls and a strike on Chandler Simpson. Popped out to Tristan Gray in the second. Gray made the play on Simpson, and the Rays left fielders hit safely in all 6 games this season. Joe's bunt and punched it foul. Speed, massive part of his game. A year ago, no home runs, but an on-base percentage over .320. 44 stolen bases for Simpson last year. Played center last year, but now with Mullins with the Rays, Simpson plays more in left.
I don't know, a 2-1 bunt with 2 outs and the runner in scoring position, you're basically just pushing it off to the guy behind you. I'm going to get on base, see if I get myself a hit here, and see if the guy behind me can drive him in. I get it. The more traffic you have, the more chances you have to score, but really interesting 2-out bunt with a runner in scoring position.
Ball 4. Second walk for Ober. And Carson Williams will be the batter for the Rays. The 6th batter for Tampa Bay this inning as Pete Mackey will head out for a visit. Want to remind you to become a My Twins member today and unlock exclusive experiences all season long. Earn points to redeem rewards like pregame field passes, throwing out a ceremonial first pitch, and so much more. Sign up today at twins.com/mytwins. Rays have 2 on, 2 out, leading by 3, and fastball velocity with Bailey Obermorny was a big talking point last year, spring training, and it's still a topic early on in 2026.
Yeah, it's down even from his first start. Obviously different, 37 degrees at first pitch. So, are you going to be feeling like you do in July and August, where you basically walk on the field, you start sweating, and you're loose, and you feel like you're good to go. But early in the year, something that we've paid attention to, we've talked about quite a bit, and it does make a difference. In 2024, he averaged almost 92 miles an hour with that fastball. Think of it this way: if you go from 95 to 92, what a difference that is for the hitters. It's the same thing. You go from 92 to 89. It's very, very difficult. You just have to be that much more dialed in with your command. You can't afford to miss in spots, and then we've seen it, 8 3-ball counts. He's fallen behind a lot. Hitters have kind of been able to shrink the zone a little bit and then jump on some pitches in the heart of the plate.
1-1 to Williams. Overstruck him out on 3 pitches in the second, and now it's 1-2. And Bailey, that combination of fastball, changeup, just the difference in speed. It's about a 5-6 mile an hour gap right now between the fastball and changeup. And Williams strikes out on the changeup, so Bailey strikes him out for the second time. But the Rays add on a couple of doubles. Jake Fraley first, and then Ben Williamson right down the line drove in his second run of the season, and the Rays now lead by 3.
By you.
Ben Williamson RBI double, and the Rays now lead 3-0. As Luke Keyshaw will try and spark a rally here in the home fourth. Keyshaw, Wallner, Bell, 3, 4, and 5 against Joe Boyle. His second start this season.
Love to see Keyshaw get on base, maybe fire up the crowd a little bit, watch him run around.
Twins have lost their last 2 home openers. Last time the Twins won a home opener was a Kyle Farmer walk-off swing, a single, as the Twins beat the Astros 3-2 April 7th, 2023.
Twins do have a winning record overall on opening or home openers.
6 of their last 9 overall. And here's a good start to the 4th inning. Twins have their first hit. Luke Keyshaw indeed will try and showcase that speed and get something going here in the 4th, down 3.
It is kind of one of the hard things when you get down is to continue running the bases aggressively. We will see if Keyshaw takes off here. Tries to get that first stolen base of the year, but nice job of just 2-strike hitting, moving it forward. Yes, exit velocity wasn't great, but it was a hit. That's all that really matters.
Matt Wallner struck out on a high fastball. Swinging back in the 1st. Check on Keyshaw. Morty mentioned the note earlier that the Rays have yet to throw out a base runner this season. They've allowed 10 stolen bases through 6 games and have not thrown anybody out.
2 of those have been off Boyle when Boyle was on the mound.
Now, to be fair, they just got done playing Milwaukee, and they have team speed up and down that lineup, and they run well against anybody.
Yeah, that's what they're built. That's part of their game. They're a very tough team to play against. They're going to put pressure on you. They're going to make you make the plays, and if you don't, you're going to lose a series. It's part of what happened to Tampa there. There was a time before that shift was banned where you had 3 fielders on that right side and runner. It didn't matter if you had a left-handed hitter. Now that you only have the second baseman kind of covering that whole side, you wonder how much Keyshaw is going to be told to stay at first base with Wallner up there.
2-2. Wallner nodding his head up and down.
You got that hole on the right side. That's something as left-handed hitters, even right-handed hitters, was part of our batting practice. We used to try and pull that ball through the hole, and it resulted in a 1st to 3rd a lot of times. It kind of went away when there was that shift that happened and wasn't really talked about much, because if you hit the ball on the ground on the right side as a left-handed hitter, it was an out every single time. I wonder if that's something that comes back into play.
Keyshaw takes off, swing and a miss, throw to second base, and Keyshaw easily into second base. Poor throw from Fortes, denying Williams any chance to glove it or apply a tag. First stolen base for Keyshaw.
And not a bad pitch to throw on, up in the zone, up above Wallner's bat, but ended up looking like he kind of yanked that, almost like a slider or a cutter he threw down there. You watch that ball move, and catchers are told miss on the first base side of second base. I think he just kind of yanked it, trying to get it out quick.
Second time the Twins have had a runner in scoring position today. Tristan Gray found himself at second and the 3rd, but Twins could not bring it in. Josh Bell striking out his first time up. One and one. Josh Bell in his home debut as a Twin, DHing for the 7th game to start the year. Line to right field, that will fade and fall fair. Keyshaw will score. Bell on his way to second base, dropped in right by Fraley. He'll pick it up and get it back in, but Bell stays at second base, and the Twins are on the board, and a Josh Bell RBI double is 3-1.
Neither of these balls hit overly hard, but hit in the right spot and put in play. Twins have struck out 6 times so far in this game, but Bell got jammed here. You see him just kind of pull the hands in. He's able to keep this ball fair, and he's thinking 2 right out of the box. Good for the Twins to answer, wake that crowd up a little bit, and just as I was hoping for at the start of the inning, see if you can get Keyshaw on base, get him running around, get everybody excited a little bit.
Well, John Cena love right there from Bell, slicing foul off the bat of Ryan Jeffers. Jeffers seeking his first hit this season with a runner in scoring position. A single from Keyshaw, the stolen base, and then Bell brings him in.
It looked like Jeffers had intent of going that way, or maybe he had slider on his mind.
Goes again that way. Sliced, shallow right. Fraley will play this in a hop. Bell read it well, makes 3rd. So fighting it off, and Ryan Jeffers dumps one into right field, and the Twins have the tying run on.
Another ball not hit off the barrel, but in the perfect spot. Bell's reading this the whole way. This is a tough read as a base runner. You're watching, and right fielders in this ballpark generally play about 10 feet closer to home plate than they do in other ballparks. Just you've got that high wall, you've got that shorter porch. So sometimes those reads to right field can be very difficult. He played it right. Last thing that can happen there is get doubled off on second base if he comes up with that ball. Now he's in third, less than 2 outs. Now it's Larnach's job to find a way to get that ball to the outfield.
Kyle Snyder, longtime Rays pitching coach, out for a visit. And here is Larnach, who bounced out to short in the second. And Boyle, good ground ball numbers, Morty. That sinker, that's probably going to come into play here.
And if you're Larnach, your thought is big part of the field in the air, something you can elevate. That's that split. It's more split than it is sinker to the lefties. 92-mile-an-hour split from a starting pitcher.
Stretch, 0-1 high. And with Bailey, who's 6'9", and Boyle 6'8", what has made Bailey so effective is that extension he gets. He's in the 97, 98 percentile. Boyle, comparable height, but doesn't have that same extension.
Just how everybody moves, how you get through your delivery, where your release point is, all of those things come into play. If there was a way to teach guys to get a foot closer to home plate when they release the ball and still be effective, still be able to throw hard, I'm sure teams have been working on it for a while now.
And Larnach will challenge. 2-2, close pitch. So it was a 2-1 pitch from Boyle, and the Twins using their first challenge, and a strike.
Well, you like it there. You know, if he wins that challenge, he's 3-1. He's in control of the at-bat. It's a run-scoring situation. You got a runner on third, less than 2 outs. So that is one of those high-leverage at-bats that Schulte has been talking about. Just unfortunately, it clipped that top corner of the zone.
2-2 pitch coming up to Larnach. Ball 3.
Now you got a guy on the mound who has the ability to strike hitters out. Do you put him in motion? As you mentioned, the ground ball rate. I'm in favor of him, but you got a catcher over there, a guy who's been behind the plate. We'll see what they do.
Jeffers short lead, and now time. The Twins don't have a ton of speed just in play here. Hitter, runners. Boyle about to throw his 70th pitch of the game.
But if he takes off, it's not to steal the base, it's more to stay out of the double play.
Runner stay. 3-2 is low, ball 4. So Larnach with a good plate appearance, drawing his 3rd walk this season. He's only struck out once all year. And the bases are loaded. And Royce Lewis here on the home opener is coming up with the bases loaded and 6 grand slams since 2022. Only Aaron Judge has hit more in Major League Baseball.
Oh, you know, Royce feeds off the energy of the crowd. You get a moment like this, people are getting out of their seats. Got something to cheer about. They know what he's done. The respect they have for this guy. Helping Twins win their first playoff series in a long time a couple of years ago.
0-1. Royce has already had some opportunities with the bases loaded. Came up a few times in Baltimore during the opening series. 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position this year. Is the Twins' 3rd baseman. On the ground is short. Bobbled by Williams. Everybody's safe, and a run is in. The Rays defense has been a problem so far this year. Will look to be a tailor-made double play. Instead, an error from Williams. It's a 1-run game and still just 1 out.
Well, he hit it hard, and it just came up late on him. That took just a real late hop. This will get Royce an RBI on this play. A fielder's choice. E6 RBI, and Twins still have the bases loaded.
So the Rays, with their major league leading 10th error, came in tied for the most with the Angels and Nationals. -6 outs above average, tied for the worst in all of baseball so far. 1-1 now on Tristan Gray. Gray will walk his first time. Ball 2. Gray, a former Ray, has Jeffers at third, Larnach at second, and Royce at first. Slicing and will land foul.
Yeah, Gray with that big swing at Baltimore. That first series, the ball in the gap. Introduce himself to the Twins fans. Time you're playing your former team, you'd love to come up with that big hit. See if they go back to the split right here, trying to get another ground ball.
3-2.
What do you trust that you can throw for a strike right here? And if you're in the batter's box, you're trying to take a deep breath and you're telling yourself, get him in the zone, get something you like, try and stay disciplined. Remember, the pressure's on him.
Nowhere to put him. Full count. 3-2 pitch. Gray sends it in the air to right center field. Over is Fraley. Catch is made. Jeffers will tag and score. Larnach to third. Sac fly from Gray. And the Twins have come back to tie things up at 3.
Nice job right here. The full count of making sure you get one runner in. Yes, you would love to clear the bases with a ball off the wall. But once he got to 2 strikes, did a great job of just staying disciplined and making sure he got the job done. And
part of the reason that Gray Morty won that job, that last utility spot, a little more pop in his bat, and put it in play.
Yeah, and this is, now we're talking about Clemens here, hitting in the leadoff spot. This is part of why you want to do it. You get him 3 at-bats off of a right-handed pitcher.
It's a foul ball.
And so the lineup turns back over. You got Buck in the on-deck circle. You got Clemens. You're forcing that opposing manager to make a decision here. Do you change your starter? Do you go to somebody different? If you do decide you want to bring in a lefty to face Clemens, then you've got the 2 right-handed hitters behind him. So there is some strategy to this lineup. I know there's been a lot of talk about Clemens in the leadoff spot, but this is one of the reasons why you have him up there, is for opportunities like this, a third look at a starting pitcher.
Does Royce run here? If so, do the Rays throw through with Larnach at third base? 0-2 now on Clemens.
It depends on how Royce feels. I believe he more than likely has the green light if he feels like he can get a jump, especially with 2 strikes right here. Fortes coming out to give the sign. Will they throw through or not? Left-handed batter. Larnach's able to get a big lead off of third.
Lewis stays. 0-2 to Clemens, and he strikes out on a splitter from Boyle. But the Twins bat 8 and have come back to tie things up here in the home opener. Tristan Gray, a part of the rally here at Target Field. It began with a Josh Bell. John Cena, you can't see him. We did see the double. Ryan Jeffers with a good at bat as well. Tristan Gray, the sac fly. Scoring Jeffers. 3-3.
DraftKings.com/myTwins.
Minnesota Twins baseball is presented by Progressive Insurance. A grand slam for your budget. Visit progressive.com. By Ford. Visit local.ford.com for your local Northland Ford dealer today. The 2026 U.S. Olympic women's hockey team, part of the ceremonial first pitches today. All the pregame festivities at the ballpark today, representing Old Glory at the ballpark for the home opener and a brand new game. 3-3 pitching change. Ober departs, and in comes righty Eric Orsi for his second appearance with the Twins, and like Tristan Gray, a former Tampa Bay Ray.
And he's going to use that split more than anything else. Also a slider and a four-seam fastball. That split is a very good pitch for him. See if he continues to go to it. Used it a lot last year in Tampa. Has used it quite frequently so far this year as well.
Diaz 0 for 1 with a walk and a run as Orsi misses high. Orsi 33 games with the Rays last year. ERA just over 3. Trade brought him to the Twins in mid-November. Diaz, 34 years old, despises playing in cold weather. And Jeffers will challenge. So Jeffers will challenge. It's a walk for Diaz. And Jeffers is graded out quite well, but not this time. And the Twins are out of challenges here in the 5th inning.
Well, that's another leverage situation. Jeffers not happy, but to keep the leadoff man off base. We saw it the 1st inning. He came around to score. We saw it in the 4th after a leadoff double. He came around to score.
Jeffers, he's been busy. Now 9, he's won 5, just lost his 4th. Leadoff man is on for Jonathan Aranda. 0 for 2 today. He's flied out twice. Great season last year, all-star first baseman. Hit for average, hit for power. Diaz a short lead. And a strike on Aranda.
The split is the best pitch. The split is the best pitch to get a ground ball. So chance that there's that hole in the right side I was talking about last inning. And see, that's like 92 miles an hour, 92, 93 miles an hour for a guy who throws more splits. So your thought is almost just survive on the heater, try and foul off that fastball, and know that you're probably going to get another split at some point. And that's really the difference between having, you know, that velocity that sits around league average somewhere 94, 95 miles an hour. Anything that's kind of below that, you do feel like as a hitter that you can just fight off that fastball and give yourself a chance to stay on that split.
Line to left and slicing foul.
And that's kind of what that looked like right there. What do you need to do on a guy on a right-handed pitcher to a left-handed hitter, whether it's a changeup or a split? It's going to be going down towards the ground, but also fading away. And he just let this ball travel. It looked like he had thoughts. I'm just going to flip this thing the other way. Twins have a pretty heavy shift on him. Royce is almost a straight-up shortstop, so his thought is kind of, you can't beat me with this fastball. Let's see if I can stay on something else and take advantage of it.
See the Twins defensively. Lewis playing well off the line at 3rd. Diaz at first, nobody out. 3-2 upcoming to Aranda. In the air to left, and Larnach with plenty of room. So one away. Diaz remains at first base, and now Junior Caminero. The Rays have 4 hits today, all doubles, including Caminero in the first. And that's been the theme for the Rays offensively today, Morty. 4 doubles.
Yeah, 2-0 fastball to Caminero. Fortes got himself a fastball on a 2-1 count. A 3-1 count to Fraley. There's kind of a theme here. Fall behind the count, the hitter's in the driver's seat. And obviously every pitcher who takes the mound wants to go out there and throw strike one, wants to work ahead, wants to be in control of the at-bat.
10 hits per game for Tampa Bay, just behind the Nationals for the most in the game so far this year. As good as Junior Caminero was last year, and he was great. Offensively, 45 homers, 110 RBI, OPS near 850, an all-star. He did lead the game in ground ball double plays, bouncing into 31 a season ago.
Which is surprising for a guy who elevates the ball, hits the ball out of the ballpark. But you make hard contact also, that's something that plays into it.
It's not uncommon to see some of the game's great sluggers either near or at the top of that list annually. Ground ball double plays.
Harmon Killebrew, one of those guys. 573 career home runs, also hit into a ton of double plays. Sometimes the speed plays a factor in it, whether you're a slugger who can't run that well, or if you're somebody who just consistently hits the ball hard. If you do that with guys on base, you hit in the middle of the lineup. It's going to lead to a lot of double plays being turned.
Nice block there by Jeffers. And also, wouldn't you equate it to, in recent years, just the increase in the two-seamer coming back and the sinker coming back in a way, I'm talking about the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, just the ability to eat up right-handed hitters, have something to keep them off the outside part of the plate and just running in on their hands. For sure that has played a factor into it.
2-2. It's a ground ball, but foul on a splitter. And Joe Ryan, you ask him about how his ground ball rate, it's still below league average, but it has improved. Much of it can be traced back. Sinker, yes, but the splitter. Ryan was able to throw that pitch and induce ground balls off.
And that right there, it's just that ball, whether it's the split or a sinker, two-seam, chasing those right-handed hitters, it's either, if you hit it fair, you're probably going to pound it into the ground right at the third baseman. So all you're doing is almost just trying to clear him out of there and get him out of your kitchen and look for something where you get your arms extended.
7th pitch of this at bat upcoming. It will be an 8th. If you're just joining us, we began about an hour late today. If you did not see the news, there was a massive power outage impacting many here in downtown Minneapolis, including the ballpark. Forced about a 1-hour delay. Again, Jeffers keeps it in front.
Hopefully that doesn't have an impact later in this game. The forecast looked pretty good the middle part of the afternoon. The last thing the Twins want to have to do again is play through some of that misery like they played in Kansas City, except for the fact that it's about 30 degrees colder here than it was there.
Diaz takes off. 3-2 pitch is over, and Clemens with the play. He will not have one, though, at first base.
I love that, though, the instincts of Orsi to get over there, to recognize what's in front of him. Clemens to go get that ball. Runner taken off, and just seeing that nobody was at first base. Look at Orsi right here. Recognizes it. Keishel's up the middle. He was going to second base on the steal. And that would have been a double play that I have never seen turned, I don't think.
3-1.
3-1 on a pop-up in foul territory. Good base running by Diaz, too, to recognize that and get back to first.
So 2 down, and Jake Fraley doubled and scored in the 4th. Strike 1. Bailey over went 4, gave up 3 runs, walked 2, struck out 4. Rolled to first, Clemens dives, but there is Keyshaw. Clemens finds his footing and finds the bag. And the inning ends. A walk to Diaz leads to nothing. Twins back at it, bottom 5 in a 3-3 game. Awesome.
It's Byron Buxton leading off the Twins' 5th inning, and Byron Buxton, we all know, has always been a leader for this team on and off the field, and he's always been known to be a little bit more of the lead by example guy than the real vocal or super outspoken type. But that has changed this year. He has been using his voice. He's been pretty vocal, and his teammates love it. Ryan Jeffers said this is very much Buxton's team. In the past, there's been guys like Carlos Correa, Nelson Cruz, who can step up and take over some of the leadership roles in different capacities.
Lofts one to left, and Simpson makes the play. Audra, and Byron is out number 1. Go ahead.
But, you know, this year, guys are really looking to Buck to be the one to speak out and lead by example still, but also get the team ready to go, get them hyped up. And I asked Buck about it. I said, is that true? Your teammates say that this is what's going on. Is that accurate? And he said, it really is. He's like, and I'm glad that they have noticed it, because he did want to come into the season helping his guys stay the path. He wants everybody to never get too high, never get too low. And if he can help out in any way, he will, guys.
That's well said. Audra, and he is the face of the franchise. No doubt about that.
Well, I think he's made statements that he wants to stay here. He wants to be a part of this. He likes playing here. And if that's the case, and you've got a lot of younger teammates, you've got less experience throughout the clubhouse, you look to a guy like that, a guy who does things the right way, who, when he's on the field, he'll do anything to try and help his team win.
A rocket up the middle and positioned perfectly. Williamson, and his throw is in time with Keyshaw hustling. It's a good play by Williamson. Love the hustle there from Keyshaw, but the second baseman made the play for out number 2.
Well, especially on a day like today when it's cold, it's going to be hard to get a good grip on that baseball. You see him taking a little extra time to make sure he had it, and almost forced a bad throw. You're standing out there for a while, the hands get cold, you just don't have the same feel when you pick that ball out of your glove. Why not go hard down the line? And for Keyshaw, it's as much as running out the frustration as anything. Barrel up a ball, not off to the start that maybe he would like as far as numbers go, but he'll never stop playing that way.
0-2 on Matt Wallner. His third look at Joe Boyle, and Boyle has struck out Wallner twice. And with 2 strikes, Boyle's spot, and he's not alone. Fastball's up. That's where teams like to go against Wallner. Went ahead.
Let's see if they go up there, if they throw something down and then try and go back up.
Slider down, and Wallner strikes out for the 3rd time today, and Boyle has his second 1-2-3 inning here this afternoon. back. Minnesota Twins baseball is presented by your local Toyota dealers and by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. If you entered Gate 3 today, the Harmon Killebrew Gate, you saw that man, Pablo Lopez, post-Tommy John surgery, and still seeing those Pablo Day jerseys around the ballpark, and I'm sure folks had an experience they will never forget. He is 1 of 1 as Keyshaw makes the play, and Fortes pops out to begin the 6th inning, and our injury update is delivered by Postman Law, and it is on Pablo Lopez, and sadly, Morty, a big blow at the outset of spring training.
Yeah, just right as you get going, the worst news you could possibly have, a guy you expect to be at the top of your rotation, a guy who sets the tone and does so many things that sets an example for the other pitchers, it sets example for his teammates, and he's going to continue to do that. He's going to be around the team as much as he can, and me being the genius that I am, went up to him and tried to shake his hand with my right hand. He kind of looked at me and I go, oh yeah, sorry. Little left hand fist bump.
Opened up the spot though for Mick Abel to take advantage, and Abel starts tomorrow. So it was Richardson also lined up to go in this series. Pablo Lopez signing autographs as well. And Pablo's ambidextrous, by the way. He joked with us last year that he thinks he can throw left-handed about 70 miles an hour, 75 miles an hour. Cedric Mullins rolls it over to Keyshaw. And there are 2 down.
There is nothing that Pablo could do that would surprise me.
He's an avid pickleball player, obviously not during the season. Right-handed, but I would imagine he can give Perk a pretty good game hitting left-handed.
I imagine he's in significantly better shape than Perk, so yeah.
That's not hard.
As he's laying in front of his fireplace watching this game on TV. Recovering from his drubbing, his earlier pickleball game today.
He played at noon today, he was very excited. Ben Williamson has an RBI double today. He is 1 for 2, and the 0-1 from Orsi, who's out for a 2nd inning of work here today. And Orsi did this a little bit with Tampa Bay. Looking at some of his game logs from June last year, you spot a couple of multi-inning appearances, and Derek Shelton's going to need that from a few of these guys, Morty, without a defined long man. As Williamson has his 2nd hit today, it's a 2-out single here in the 6th inning.
It's going to be interesting to watch over the next 15, Twins have 15 games in a row here. How are they going to manage the bullpen? Who are they going to extend? Who are they going to go to? Are you going to need to make roster moves, which is not something that every manager likes to do? Especially early in the year when the relievers aren't built up. Normally, or a lot of times, especially with the starting depth, you thought that maybe one of those guys that wasn't going to fit into the rotation was going to end up in the bullpen as a long guy. And then with the injury, Festa, there's some guys you thought maybe you could get some length out of, but it's just going to be more opportunities for other guys down there in the bullpen.
So Topa warming up. Lewis playing in, certainly respecting the speed of Chandler Simpson. Williamson stays, and a strike splitter from Orsi on Simpson. And if you look at that scoreboard bug lower right of your screen next to the Twins TC logo, Twins have no challenges remaining. The Rays have 1. And I should say that's ABS challenges because the Twins still can challenge any play at the bases, if you will, say for out tag plays like we saw in the past. That has no impact on ABS challenges. Still get 1 per game. You lose it, then you can't ask for anything to be looked at, any reviewable play, until the 8th inning. The Twins still have that option, but no more balls and strikes challenges remaining. Chop to the right side. Keyshaw will take the short play at 2nd, and the force on Williamson, and that's 2 scoreless innings of relief from Eric Orsi.
by you.
I am not naive to what the most important thing here is, which is winning baseball games. We can sell all the $2 beers we want. We can have all the concerts we want, but people want to see a winner. And I think what the product that we put on the field is ultimately what's going to drive hope, if you will, within our fan base.
Pre-game comments from Executive Chair Tom Pohlad, his first home opener in his new role.
He
addressed the media in the dugout before the game. Morning.
He was in Baltimore also for the season opener. I think I liked a lot of what I've heard from Tom so far, recognizing what is being said, recognizing what's happening, and understanding the frustration, the disappointment of the fans. And I think you go out there, you say it, and then you state your goals, and then that puts pressure on, and it's a good kind of pressure. We want to be a good baseball team. We want to put a winning product on the field for these fans, so people want to come to this beautiful ballpark. And I think if you're hearing any other message than that, that's probably not a good thing. But he understands, he's had conversations, he's done his research with so many people throughout the organization, season ticket holders, throughout the fan base, just having a pulse on it and just understanding what he's seeing. And hopefully that does result in winning more baseball games.
87-91. Flags. 2-2, and Bell chased the splitter. And that's 9 strikeouts for Boyle, tying a career high.
This is a split. Looks like a fastball coming out of the hand. He sells it with the arm action. And then look how much that thing's just taken off. He's really lowered his arm slot over the years. He was much more over the top when he was with Oakland. Now he's come to Tampa. They've got him down there. And I think lowering that arm slot, like we talked about with Bailey Ober, trying to get that ball to run side to side like we saw there to Bell, that was nasty. Respect the 98-mile-an-hour fastball. He throws you that split at 91, 92, 93, and just takes off.
Two balls and no strikes on Jeffers. And part of what has made the Rays a competitive team for the most part here, year in, year out, is they just find pitching. And they traded Shane Baz. Just saw him in Baltimore, and Jeffers did go. So rung up by Nick Marley at first base, so a 2-1 count. Brian Pepio acquired from the Dodgers, and the Tyler Glasnow trade. He's hurt right now, and the reason why that Boyle is starting is in Pepio's absence. To the right side, and shuffling over is Williamson, and he throws out Jeffers for out number 2, and Boyle still pitching well here in the 6th inning. He's allowed 3 runs, only 2 earned.
Well, we talked about it off the top. He's got a good fastball that's going to sit in the upper 90s, a split that he's paired with it. He's able to throw that slider as well, mix it in, the sweeper occasionally. Buxton see most of those, but all different parts of the strike zone. And when he throws strikes, when he works ahead in the count, he is a very, very difficult guy to hit hard, put in play. Meeting of the umpires.
Are they challenging if Williamson was not in legal fielding position?
Minnesota's challenging the shift violation.
Yep, so was Williamson, was he in legal fielding position?
Was he on the grass, or was he on the other side of second base? Ooh. I wonder if at any point we're going to have an actual line going directly into center field. But that looked to me like his right foot was on the other side.
So a couple years ago, you know, Carlos Correa got hit with this violation while the Twins were playing at Tampa Bay in St. Petersburg a couple of years ago. Back then, the penalty was a ball. Now is, if Williamson is guilty of it, Jeffers is safe. The batter is granted first base.
Well, I think the other part of this, too, if that ball wasn't hit, if he hit that ball to short, the Twins could still challenge that play, even though it's not a fielder directly involved with the fielding the baseball. So that has also changed recently, where it used to have to be the guy who made the play on the ball if he started in a spot. This is a tough call. So he's definitely feet on the dirt, but now is he on the other side of second base? Is he on the shortstop side?
And he's allowed to move over once the ball leaves the pitcher's hand.
So where he's starting very, very close. We see his right foot, but the ball is already out of the pitcher's hand. When he does that prep step, when he's getting himself in a fielding position, getting himself in a spot where he's ready to move, that right foot looks like it's on the other side of second base. But what is the timing of it?
A live look at the replay operation command center in Midtown Manhattan. The crew chief is Marvin Hudson, the second base umpire.
After review, there was a shift violation. The second baseman was positioned illegally. By rule, the batter will get first base. Minnesota will retain their challenge.
Great pickup, and that's going to be a follow-up question here post-game. Joe Casey does a marvelous job handling replay reviews in the Twins clubhouse. But something like that, was that even the staff just kind of picking up on that. So Williamson was guilty, and per rule, Ryan Jeffers is safe, and the Twins maintain their challenge. It's a big thing here at a 3-3 game of the sixth inning, Morning.
Definitely. Williamson asking questions, feeling like he was still in the right spot, and that ball coming out of the hand. Very close. I think we need a line going out there, some type.
Almost like an
fair foul,
upside down
basically.
V or something like that about where you need to be.
And once I figure out how to score that, I'll pass that along.
I was just thinking the same thing.
4-3 single?
I think it's an error. I think, yeah, it is an error. Yeah, Williamson has been charged with an error. That's the second error for the Rays today. And the Twins have the go-ahead run on here in the sixth inning. I'm not just saying because it benefited the Twins, but I think just giving the pitcher or the defending team a ball doesn't have a lot of bite. I think giving some reward to the batter, you put the ball in play and made the infielder move over. He doesn't get a hit, but he should get credit and take first base. Because who knows how the play goes otherwise if you were not where you were defensively.
I don't see too many of those, but see if the Twins can take advantage of it.
Outside to Larnach on a splitter ball one. 102 pitches for Boyle here in his second start this season. He's exceeded 100 pitches. Rays have had a righty up in their bullpen for a bit. And Larnach fights it off.
It's also somewhat surprising. The Twins played yesterday, but Tampa had the day off, so those arms down there in the bullpen fresh.
And also, I think Kevin Cash might be looking at the same number. Hunter Biggie is up in the pen. The Rays bullpen is the highest ERA in the game right now. It's over 9. Larnach with a blast, high and deep to right field. Back it goes, and off the limestone. Ryan Jeffers to third base. He'll be held on a booming double from Larnach, right off the limestone overhang and right. And the Twins have second and third in a 3-3 game here in the sixth.
Great contact. Larnach getting his third look at Boyle. That'll be the end of his day, but he's throwing a lot of splits. He's throwing a lot of good ones. This one more towards the middle of the plate. The only question was it high enough? He definitely hit it hard enough. And Twins are able to take advantage of that shift violation. Now you got second and third, a chance to score, and you got a new pitcher coming in.
So Larnach just missed a home run, a double off the wall. Twins in business, second and third. As Boyle departs, Biggie is coming in. Royce Lewis hoping for a big swing when we come back.
channels. Start watching at FuboTV.com.
Hey, Twins fans, want flexibility and savings with your baseball experience? Check out My Twins membership. It's free to enroll, and any ticket or ballpark purchase earns you rewards. Become a My Twins member today at twins.com/mytwins.
Limestone double from Trevor Larnach, and the Twins in business here in a 3-3 game, bottom 6. And Hunter Biggie is on for the first time this season.
High velocity fastball, averages just over 97. Slider as well. Those two pitches primarily the right-handed hitter. Let's see what Royce gets.
Outside ball 1. Recall from AAA Durham earlier today as Garrett Clevenger was taken off the roster. See, the Rays bullpen numbers have been dreadful, and the Twins are hoping to add to those numbers. 2 balls and no strikes on Lewis, a fielder's choice RBI. Helped out by an error in the 4th inning. 2-1. Biggie, good numbers in spring training. Struck out 12 batters in 7 innings. 3-1.
Well, he got a 2-0 fastball. See if he gets another one. 3-1. Base open. Don't have to give in necessarily.
Royce helped him out there. Chased a slider and knocked down by Fortes.
I was going to say obviously easier from up here, but was going to be shocked if he challenged him with another fastball. Royce a little over aggressive, trying to do a little too much.
Lewis only 1 walk this season. As Biggie shakes. Jeffers at 3rd, Larnach at 2nd. Low ball 4.
Really good adjustment. 3-1. Why not take a shot trying to hit a ball hard, trying to elevate something? He ended up getting a non-fastball. He chased it and then made the adjustment with 2 strikes. Forced him to, the thought process of forcing him to get back in the zone. That'll give Gray another opportunity.
So Kyle Snyder, pitching coach, back out, and Gray will have another plate appearance with the bases loaded. Was in this spot in the 4th inning. And a sac fly to right that scored Ryan Jeffers, and that was the tying run. Now a chance to bring in Jeffers with the go-ahead run 2 innings later.
I think he would take the exact same result right here. Give the Twins the lead. I think it's such a fine balance as a hitter in situations like this of wanting to drive in all 3 or at least 2, and then just being satisfied with driving in 1. And I think the best way to look at it is you trust the guy behind you in the on-deck circle. You trust the guy who's hit behind you. Your thought is, at least my thought was, I got to make sure I find a way to get that guy in from 3rd base with less than 2 outs.
'97 by the bat of Gray.
So if you're watching from the side, if you're paying attention on the bench, what has he been able to throw for strikes? Where has he thrown that slider when he's thrown it? Most of them have been down. Most of them have been out of the zone. Start shrinking the zone. Start maybe trying to hunt that fastball.
Think about the 3 outfielders right now. Any ball in play with Simpson, Mullins, and Fraley. That guy on right has the strongest arm. A swing, but 2-2. Cody Clemens on deck. Twins have had traffic on the base paths really in a couple of innings. Cashed in with 3 in the 4th. Have 3 on here in the 6th. A 2-2 pitch upcoming to Tristan Gray. Popped up, shallow left. Simpson, Williams, it is Simpson. Jeffers will tag and hold. Too shallow. Two down. Take a look at this play from our progressive wire cam here at Target Field.
Yeah, this is a ball about as deep as the one Buxton scored on at Baltimore. And Simpson doesn't have a great arm out there in left, but that's just too shallow. You got Clemens coming up. Give him an opportunity to pick you up right here.
Cody 0 for 2 with a walk. Chasing down today. And takes strike one at 96 from Biggie. Save there from Fortes, man. That's big time here. Big pressure spot, spike slider, and Fortes smothered this pitch in the dirt.
Well, it's set up a way. I think maybe they were trying to start that one off the plate to come back. The fact he was able to get over all the way on the other side was impressive.
Low for ball 2. That's part of Fortes' game. He's a good blocker. Good framer. The starter Boyle departed here in the 6th inning. 2-2 upcoming to Clemens. Struck him out with a slider down and inside. So Biggie comes in, and the Harvard alum uses that brain and the body to work out of a jam. A walk to Lewis. Gray popped out, and Clemens strikes out, and the Twins lead 3.
Don't get caught looking. Call CarShield and save. Woo!
Minnesota Twins baseball is presented by Delta. From Twins territory to the world, Delta, official airline of the Minnesota Twins. Welcome back to the home opener here at Target Field. All the players lined up along the first baseline today. Twins and the Rays all tied 3-3, 7th inning pitching change. Good job by Eric Orsi. Gives way to Justin Topa as he misses low with a sinker to Carson Williams.
We've seen Topa late in games. You had him warming up last inning. I think that's part of why you're bringing him in here. Face a 9-1-2. Schulte's talked about roles in the bullpen, what it kind of looks like. He still thinks it's going to take a while to kind of figure out where everyone's at, but Topa was hot. Get him in the game. Last thing you want to do is maybe wait around and hope there's a save opportunity in the 9th. So this is matchup driven as much as anything else.
Twins don't have a challenge. Close pitch right there. One that Jeffers, if they had one, might have taken a chance instead of 3-1 count.
That's what happens when you run out of them.
Williams 2 at-bats against Ober, and Bailey struck him out twice. Hitting 158 early on this year. Playing shortstop for the injured Taylor Walls. Walls is out right now with an oblique strain. And Walls, he can really pick it at short. But he's out. It's Williams at short again today. As Topa fires again with a 3-2 pitch. And it's right down the middle. And Williams strikes out for the 3rd time. First time looking. And 1 away here in the Tampa Bay 7th.
Well, he's got that lower arm slot. It's a good run on that fastball. Whether Williams saw this off the plate or had sweeper in mind starting in that part of the strike zone, but really well executed pitch.
Now comes the firepower. Diaz flares it to right, and that'll land for a hit. Just finds his way on base time and time again. 3rd time he's been on today, his first hit. And Tampa Bay has a base runner in a 3-3 game here in the 7th.
Well, he hits the ball to the opposite field as much as anybody in baseball, just racking up hits. You mentioned the batting title a couple of years ago, and his willingness to stay through the big part of the field. I say it all the time, good hitters get hits. Yes, the exit velocity was lower. Yes, his hands are still ringing from the cold, but it hurt a lot less when you get hits on those ones.
Here's Aranda. 0 for 3 today. Topa hoping to use his arsenal to induce a ground ball. Aranda has flied out 3 times to all 3 outfielders. See Gray up the middle, Lewis off the line. Change up for strike 1. So again, that streak, that note for Aranda, reaching base safely in a career high 20 consecutive games. Entering play today in jeopardy right now. Cody Funderburk, one of 3 lefties the Twins have in their pen, warming up with Rogers and Anthony Banda. Aranda's been a tough out against the Twins. A .324 lifetime batter off Twins pitching. And this hit his foot, and on a day like today, that hurts even more, right? That stings anyway, but when the temperatures are in the 30s, ow.
Either that or your feet are numb and you can't feel it. No, this never feels good, no matter what the weather is. Thankfully, it got him off the bottom as he was rolling that foot up to finish that swing.
Aranda, an all-star last year, despite missing almost 50 games with a fractured wrist, a left wrist fracture, kept him out for a while. The 2-2 from Topa. Strike 3, and Aranda will challenge. The Rays have 1 challenge left. It's a strike. Both teams are out.
Well, it's interesting. There's a lot of studies done. I mentioned this a couple of times, but in the minor leagues, what happens to the strike zone after teams run out of challenges? And maybe as expected, the strike zone does increase in size, and it affects hitters.
Caminero, thankfully foul. You wonder that idea if that is something that Jeffers, in this case Jeffers and Topa, the battery, ponder.
Will now be able to potentially exploit.
Yeah, just to see.
I think it's more of a natural reaction kind of, from the umpires. But yes, if you're aware of that as a pitcher, as a catcher, can we get another inch or two off the plate away? Especially you get ahead in the count like this. We saw Jeffers earlier in the game when Bailey was out there. Hey, make sure you get this ball out off the plate. See if he sets up way out there again.
Short lead from Diaz. Jeffers sets up down and away, and the pitch is away, and no chance for Jeffers to stop that one. The backhand side, so a significant 90 feet for Yandy Diaz, as he is now in scoring position.
Will be a wild pitch.
So let's watch Topa here after throwing that one. Said something, and looking at his hand, just did not love the way that one came off, obviously.
Yeah, whether that was feel in the cold weather or just went way further out than he wanted.
Chop to third, going to be a tough play. Lewis picks on the run, throws in. It's not going to be in time as Clemens came off the bag. And for now, Nick Marley is saying that the runner is safe. This is a play the Twins can challenge. And Clemens indicated to his dugout to say, hey, take a look.
But this is such a good play by Clemens, recognizing there's a runner in scoring position.
And the Twins will challenge the play at first.
Almost trying to yell at Royce, just stop and tag him. But a little bobble out of the glove, and that's why he wasn't able to. But look at Clemens. Make sure if this is not an out, which it looks like it's going to be, to make sure that ball doesn't end up down the right field line. This is such a good play by Clemens.
You can hear the fans in the background. They're showing this angle on the scoreboard, and the Twins are coming off the field. The left foot of Clemens, you bet, kicked the side of that base.
It's just going to be an unpredictable hop. You don't know if it's going to hit the lip, the edge of the grass, what it's going to do. So the fact that he was able to play that the way he did and still come up with the ball, have the awareness to put his foot on the base. That's why it's so much easier for a left-handed throwing first baseman. He doesn't have to do anything to adjust there. It's more of a natural play, but
Royce all smiles. This one is taking some time, though.
I wonder if there's just clear possession of Clemens at first base, trapped against the body, but he's got the ball.
Yeah, did not think about that side of it, Morty, that does he have possession of the ball? His foot may be on the base, but is there any angle to give you a clear look that he has possession?
Especially because the call was safe to start. It's just great instincts right there. But even if he is safe, there's still a runner on third base, right? So you have to give up something to get something.
Now remember, when we took a tour of the umpire of the replay center a couple of years ago, we asked the longer it takes for a play to be looked at, is there data that proves it's more likely to come back as stands? They said yes. That's a fair assumption. So this is taking a while as they piece it all together, image by image, at the Replay Operation Command Center in New York.
Yeah, the fact that this is taking this long is actually kind of concerning. Yeah.
Justin Topa's on the field, Ryan Jeffers on the field, as is Tristan Gray. Everybody else is trying to get warm inside the heated dugout. There's Marvin Hudson, the crew chief, second base umpire. And maybe his microphone isn't working. Is he going to swap microphones with Trip Gibson, or here we go?
After review, the call on the field stands, but was unable to take the challenge of the runner.
So again, that backs up that point. It looked like he was out, but I think the one side of it is, was there a way to display if Clemens had possession of the ball? The foot is on the bag, but is there any way to truly see if Cody has the ball cleanly.
I got that as an out, but
I mean, clearly the foot's on the base.
Yeah. I wonder if it's because he ended up with the ball in his bare hand as opposed to the glove. Was it trapped against the body? Was it still moving against his body as that foot was touching the base? Obviously, he had clear possession of it in his hand after he went past the base. I don't know. I'm thinking he was out there, but this will result in a pitching change.
And an infield hit for Caminero, the 7th Tampa Bay hit. So Diaz to third, and Schulte indeed will make the move. So Topa will depart. Well, a lefty-lefty matchup unless the Rays make a move, but Funderburk is coming in and lefty Jake Fraley is due up. So a pitching change coming up will look to be out number 3, inning over. Instead, call stands. We play on. Rays still batting in the 7th, 3-3.
Promise, Postman delivers.
Welcome back. We got a new pitcher. We're going to have a pinch hitter, but let's take another look at this play. Here's what I saw. This is a great angle of it. As this ball is kind of trapped against the body, does a great job of keeping it in front of him, trying to get it in that glove, get that bare hand on top. But watch as he's going, foot adjusts to the base, but that ball is not in clear possession of his bare hand. And I think that's where, as you watch at the end of it, as it kind of rolls along his hand against his body, and then he's got full possession of it, that's a really hard call. I think if it was originally ruled out that it would have stood as well. But that, man, what a great play. Unfortunately, it didn't end up in Twins' favor, but the run has not scored yet because of what Cody Clemens did on that play as well.
Cody Funderburk is pitching, and the Rays do counter and lift lefty Jake Fraley for Johnny DeLuca. But first, we take a look at Fundy. The big spot here, 2-on-2 out in a 3-3 game.
He's going to be
to the right side. Keyshaw makes the play from the outfield grass, and the inning is over. So a lot of drama happening here in the 6th and now the 7th. Twins batting as we stretch 3-3.
Bronco Sport.
strikeouts on the day that ties a career high, but he is done for the day. A new pitcher coming in for Tampa Bay. 4 players for the Rays as well with doubles, giving them those 3 runs that are on the board, but the bats got going for Minnesota. Big 4th inning, a couple big smacks, a little help from Tampa's defense, and a big sac fly from Tristan Gray. So we have a brand new ball game, guys, 3-3. Let's see what we have in store coming up.
Well, Twins will get a new pitcher. Kevin Kelly coming in. Sidewinder, as they like to call him. About a sidearm as it gets. Sinker sweeper mostly. And Buxton's going to see, I'm sure, a sinker or 2 on the inside part of the plate, as most teams like to do. Try and crowd them, make them inside aware, and then see if they can get them out on something soft down and away. This is the kind of the time of the game where it seems like Buxton loves to provide a spark, do something, put the ball in play, find his way on base, maybe steal a bag.
0 for 3 here today, and line foul. Really turning on that sinker. And yanked it foul down the line. Byron 0 for 3 today, and again that note, 84 home runs lifetime at Target Field, currently tied with Max Kepler for the most in Target Field history. DeLuca, after batting for Fraley, stays in and right. Well, he's hung a few of those. 0-2.
Well, that first swing was kind of what I was talking about earlier with Buxton. It's just one swing. All he needs to do is find that barrel on that one swing, and sometimes it's just when he pulls it hard foul that lets you know that he's on time. But now he's behind in the count. It's going to get a whole lot more difficult.
Now the 0-2, and Byron started, and no swing.
Well, good crowd, 36,000. 42 showed up to cheer on their Twins on opening day. So they'd love to leave happy with a couple of late runs here from the Twins.
Look out inside, and that's painful. And Byron is already walking towards the dugout and chatting with Derek Shelton, and Masa Abe quickly meets
Wrist,
Byron Buxton.
Wrist, hand, forearm.
Oh man,
not good.
Oh, it sounded loud too, Morning. Just the sound of it.
Oh, right forearm.
That's the spot where Keyshaw got hit early last year. Byron is so tough. Has been hit, and time again he'll say, hey, try to walk up the line and stay in the game, but this was an immediate path to the dugout and to the clubhouse. James Outman now running at first base. No intent there from Kelly at all.
No, 2
Trying
strikes.
to pitch in. So Buxton has to leave. Keyshaw. Outman takes off. Big jump. Throw to second base, and no chance. Man, Outman was off there while Kelly still had the ball.
He almost couldn't believe that he had such a good jump that he kind of shut it down. Nothing like coming off the rack cold. No way he was expecting a pinch run for Buxton there. That's also, doing your homework, paying attention. You're getting information from Grady Sizemore, Twins' new first base coach. Hey, when he goes home, he does this. He either leans or he does something. He moves early that lets you know he's going home. And there's no way you get a jump with that like that without having information ahead of time to prepare yourself to be able to run the bases. And now he gets himself in a scoring position.
2 balls and no strikes on Keyshaw. So Outman steals his second base of the year. The Twins have stolen 2 bases as a team tonight. Out of play, 2-2.
Interesting to see if he gives him something that's able to move the runner over, or if he goes back to that sinker that he threw him in that duo count. See, not wanting to let that runner advance, but Caminero playing way off the line at third. If he does throw that sinker in there, a lot of room for Keishel to turn on it if he does decide to go back in there.
Behind the plate and to the seats.
Well, front door slider there, and I think I heard Keishel, whether that was a geez or a please, trying to wish that thing into foul territory. But he gets another crack at it.
Kevin Kelly last year with 2 strikes allowed only 6 hits all year. A sub 100 batting average against with 2 strikes for Kelly a season ago. 2 strikes on Keishel. Again in.
Very similar to the Buxton pitch. You're trying to stay on that breaking ball from that arm slot. That ball is starting basically at your front shoulder when he was releasing it, and you have to force yourself to stay in on that slider that he likes to throw.
To third, and Caminero bobbled it. Everybody's safe. Tried to play the short hop, and his defensive woes continue at the hot corner.
Well, I think as a fielder, you're aware of the guys who go down the line hard, and I'm sure everybody on this Tampa team understands that when he puts the ball in play, he's giving you 100% down that baseline every time, and you know you can't wait back on that ball. You have to come and get it. Just surprising to me that he was so far off the line with a guy who throws a ton of sinkers, throws a sweeper as well. So those right-handed hitters are either going to pound it into the ground on the fastball, or they're going to kind of get out front and get out there and hook that sweeper. So to play him that far off the line with him on the mound, I know that it's more general for defenses now as opposed to pitcher specific, but had he been one more step closer to the line, he doesn't have to try and get around that ball, get himself his feet in kind of an awkward position to field that ball. He's more coming directly at it, can kind of get behind it, and maybe doesn't have to rush as much and think he has to throw it on the run, picking it up on his backhand. But so the mistake maybe is more made on the positioning than it is on the actual play itself.
Caminero charged with his major league leading 6th error.
Either way, it's an error and an opportunity for the Twins.
Here's Matt Wallner. 0 for 3. Throw to second base, and back in safely is Outman. Wallner 3 at bats, 3 strikeouts. Chance to change that stat line right now. With 2 on and nobody out here in the 7th inning. You know, speaking of this Rays bullpen, remember a piece of the Rays bullpen is that man, former Twin Griffin Jax. It's been a struggle for Jax, a member of Team USA, the WBC. It has not gone well early this season with the Rays, but we know firsthand how dominant that man can be. And Jax back here at Target Field, the Taj Bradley trade last summer. You know, Fortes has done a really good job behind the plate, Morty. There have been several pitches in the dirt that he has smothered and stopped. And he has saved 90 feet and then some on multiple occasions.
Yeah, some complete misfires one side of the plate. He's set up and missing completely on the other side.
Good count for Wallner. 2-2. Rays have a lefty up in their pen. And the Twins have switch hitting Josh Bell on deck. Ian Seymour. Two on, nobody out. 2-2, and Wallner strikes out for the 4th time today. The changeup down got him this time.
Well, I think he kind of got caught in between. He was a little bit late on that fastball, fouled it off on the left side, and then got started a little bit earlier, and he just pulled the string on him, threw him a good changeup.
Frustration there for Wallner. And here's Josh Bell. 1 for 3 today. Line drive, right center field. That's a base hit. Around third is Altman. He will head home and he will score. Josh Bell. Welcome to Twins territory. A 2-hit, 2 RBI day, and the Twins take a 4-3 lead.
Great swing here, going up there, using the big part of the field. Aggressive to a pitch right down the middle. It looked like he had maybe concerns that ball was going to be caught as it was going out there. He hit it so hard.
Twins have the lead for the first time today. They were down 3-0 until a 3-run fourth, and now lead by 1 here in the 7th. Ryan Jeffers, he has reached his last 2 at-bats. Breaking ball. 4 strike. 0-2 on Jeffers. Jeffers off to a 2 strikes. Thinks the other way. Now to right center. Towards the hole left side. Missed by Caminero. Backing up though is Williams. Long throw. Not in time.
I mean, what a play that he even had a chance on this. But another tough hop for Caminero. And it's kind of been the story of the Rays season so far. Just inability to get outs on balls in play. And if you give any major league team extra outs in an inning, it becomes very difficult to prevent runs. That was a great look there.
Ton of foot traffic for the Twins here. And they keep it going, and again the bases are loaded. Second straight inning the Twins have done that.
That'll be another error on Caminero. That went down as an E5.
It's the 4th Rays error today. 2 more for Caminero, now 7 errors. 7 games into the season. Lardick doubled off the limestone overhang and right out towards the dock. Back in the 6th and a walk. Keyshaw at 3rd. Bell at 2nd. Jeffers at 1st. Chance to break it open. Ball 2. Look out, Rays dugout.
It's such a unique arm angle. It's by the time you've kind of got that release point figured out, sometimes that at bat is over. But we saw it kind of a similar foul ball. It's a different part of the field, but off Waldner's bat, kind of on that left side, almost looked like it kind of got on him a little bit. Whether they had off speed in the back of their mind or not there, but.
25 pitches and counting for Kevin Kelly. Full count. Lardick has seen a ton of pitches today. A walk back in the 4th. Another full count here in the 7th. Base is full of Twins. Kelly's 3-2 pitch inside, ball 4. It's 5-3. Keyshaw scores. Bell to 3rd. Jeffers to 2nd as Lardick picks up his 2nd RBI of the season.
Well, great at bat here. Nice job of staying in it, fouling off on tough pitches. Now he's going to get pinch run for Austin Martin coming in. A good day. And he missed a home run by about 1.5 feet. A couple of walks. Just putting together those good veteran at bats. And set it up again. Royce Lewis,
unreal.
With the bases loaded.
This is fourth.
It's just amazing.
At bat this year, right? How it finds you, no matter where he bats.
But
he's
hit
fifth, he hit eighth.
He's hitting eighth, and he's got more at bats with the bases loaded than anybody else on the entire team. Looked like he had thoughts of clearing out that front side. If he threw him a sinker in, he had thoughts of pulling that ball hard in the left field seats.
2-0.
But if you want to pitch in the big leagues, you have to be able to do that right there. You have to be able to throw off speed behind in the count. But it's a good take by Royce. There's no way he's looking for that 2-0.
No injuries. Gomez now up in the Rays pen. Seymour sat down. Three and one.
I love it. The first take was kind of a little bit jumpy. Now he's really done a good job of slowing himself down. Does he go back to that slider? Does he trust it, or does he have to throw him a fastball here?
Ooh. On the outside corner and a strike. Twins don't have a challenge. This one looked to be off the plate, and it was.
By a fraction of an inch.
So Kelly went 3-2 on Larnach, walked him, led to a run. Now 3-2 on Royce. Still just one out. Ball four. No. Another walk, another run. 6-3.
And we'll get a new pitcher.
Kevin Cash will take Kelly out, hit a batter, walk two, and the Twins have scored 3 times. Bases loaded, one away, and hopefully not done. Tristan Gray is coming up when we come back as Gomez is coming in. Yoendrys Gomez is on to pitch now for the Rays as the Twins chase Kevin Kelly. 3 in, 3 on, 1 out as Gomez takes over.
Yeah, he's a guy who can give you multiple innings. He has started. He made 9 starts last year, 2 appearances so far this year, 4 innings. He's got everything. 4-seam sinker, sweeper, curveball, change, cutter, slider. Thankfully, we've got the pitch comp because I know the catcher doesn't have that many fingers. It's amazing the mix that these guys have now, though. The ability to add pitches to the arsenal, make it that much more difficult for hitters to just sit on one thing.
Ball back from Gray.
That was a good swing. That's the one you want back. No matter what happens throughout your day, you head hits the pillow and you're thinking about that one with the bases loaded that you got.
Gray has a sac fly RBI already today. And the 1-1 from Gomez. Line to right field, down the line, deep it goes near the wall. That is gone! It's a grand slam for Tristan Gray down the right field line. And the Twins break it open. It is now 10-3 here at Target Field.
You gotta love this against your former team. You see he's fired up. You saw the hop going around first base. This is an absolute missile down the right field line with that high wall. Much like the ball Larnach hit earlier, wasn't going to be high enough. It was definitely hard enough. And I guess that pitch that he'll be seeing in this, as he puts his head on the pillow, he'll forget about that one before because he absolutely smushed that cutter right there.
First career grand slam for Tristan Gray. 10 unanswered runs as Clemens grounds out to Williamson. 2 down.
Well, not too often in the big leagues do you get 2 very hittable pitches in the same at bat. You can tell by the contact. Watch the bat flip at the end. He knew he hit it hard enough. That's the only thing about right field in this ballpark with that high wall, but nothing better than that right there.
First ever game at Target Field. And a memorable one for Tristan Gray. A 5 RBI night, his first grand slam. And the Twins have a 7-run lead. And as James Outman bats for the first time tonight.
The Keishel play earlier in this inning has been switched to a hit. The one that was originally ruled an E5. Oh.
So James Outman is batting for Byron Buxton. Now this half inning began at a sour note. Byron got hit on his right forearm and came off the field immediately. But good news from the Twins clubhouse. A right forearm contusion. X-rays came back negative. And what I've learned over the years about this is that when you get the diagnosis, and often it comes back as the Twins will have more information after the game, that normally is bad news. We didn't get that. This is X-rays negative, a forearm contusion. So good news regarding Byron Buxton. And we'll get more from Derek Shelton postgame. Meanwhile, all smiles for Tristan Gray inside the dugout. A 7-run 7th. Inside 3-2. Two-hopper to Williamson at second base, and the inning is over. Twins, they'll bat around and break it open. A touchdown, extra point, good, and Tristan Gray with a grand slam. A home opener to remember for number 4 here at Target Field.
legacy powered by you.
Well, that's Earl from the Twins security team, the guy in the black jacket, and he is working out a deal as that Twins fan is going to probably exchange that souvenir for something. So Tristan Gray, the grand slam. Twins have a 10-3 lead, and Nick Fortes hit by a pitch on the very first pitch thrown by Anthony Banda here in the 8th inning, but spiked this one and off a bounce, caught him in the leg.
Yeah, if you're wondering if there was going to be any type of retribution, it's obviously not that on the slider that bounced. And see, in a tie game, you're not wanting to hit Buxton leading off the inning.
So Fortes is on. Cedric Mullins, as Banda misses everything, it bounces off the limestone and kicks up the first base line. So a couple of pitches here from Anthony Banda, the hit batter, and
you wonder,
an errant first pitch.
And a wild pitch there. You wonder how much the weather impacted his grip.
Lives in Arizona. Anthony Banda, former Dodger, two-time World Series champion. The Dodgers were here a couple of years ago in April, and there were some cool days and cool nights where the Dodgers were last year. A strike now on Cedric Mullins. Cool temperatures, and now the rain has started back up again. No swing.
If you want the optimist take, at least it's not snow.
There you go, Morty. Three and two. Mullins 0 for 3 today and 1 for 24 to start his Rays career. Up the middle, and that'll sneak into center field, and Fortes will score. So the hit batter, wild pitch, leads to the 4th Rays run. And Mullins picks up his 2nd hit this season, his 3rd RBI. That is 10-4.
Just hit it in the perfect spot. Got on top of that fastball. And maybe Gray had a chance at it, but with Mullins' speed, if he comes up with it, it's probably going to be a hit.
Now Ben Williamson, he's had a 2-hit night with an RBI double earlier. Twins a season high 10 runs here tonight.
Consider this a day game or a night game?
A tweener. Tweener, I'd say there, Morty.
Yeah.
Happy hour. Right. $2 beers early on today. We'll play for Clemens.
After that delay, the Twins actually extended those $2 beers into the second
Real
inning.
nice.
Yeah.
Real nice.
Even though the power outage was out of everyone's control.
What do you know about the extending the happy hour deal, the $2 beer? I mean, you were absent for a while. Not to say you weren't just at the gates engaging conversation with fans, but hey, we don't judge up here. Jeffers gets a piece of it, but Mullins will advance on the 2nd wild pitch, thrown by Banda.
This is a tough block. And if you're going to run down 10-4, you got better make sure you're going to be safe at second base, and Mullins has been around long enough to understand that. Got in there pretty easily.
2-2 on Ben Williamson. Royce, a good throw. Out number 1. Mullins stays at second.
Dan Stoltz here with Tony Oliva. You're a Hall of Famer. You blazed a trail, and that's what we want to do at Blaze Credit Union.
100% Blaze is Minnesota. Go Blaze!
Go Tonio. Chandler Simpson. 0 for 2 with a walk. Kevin Kelly, by the way, charged with 6 runs, 5 earned in 1/3 of an inning. Got in on Simpson. Keyshaw slings it in time.
Nice play.
Improving arm strength from Keyshaw. A couple of years now removed from Tommy John surgery. Throws out a very fast runner. Let's take a closer look at this play from Keyshaw. It's tonight's unreal defensive play of the game.
Well, this is understanding before the ball is hit the speed of the runner. He knows that he has to come and get that, be aggressive to it with how quick he gets down the line. That's all pre-pitch preparation.
And we like the play that Keyshaw made back in the 6th inning. It was Simpson batting. Williamson was at first base and a ground ball to the right side. And Keyshaw was on the move and took the short play to second instead of, hey, plant your feet, try to get the man at first. But that's Simpson hustling up the line.
Just that awareness, understanding all the situations. And like I said on the last one, it happens before the ball is even thrown. Understanding, all right, this guy's, he's a 4-1 down the line or he's a 4-9 down the line. It's a big difference in how you attack that ball when you're playing defense.
0-2 on Williams. To right, and Matt Walder will grab it with the rain falling. Rays get one, but Fonda works through.
Become a My Twins member today at twins.com/mytwins.
Raise a glass with $2 beer all season long. Every Friday and Saturday home game, enjoy $2 Budweiser, Bud Light, or Summit Twins Pills beer prior to first pitch. Get your tickets and toast the Twins right here at Target Field at twins.com/tickets. Rain still falling. We play on. Yoendris Gomez back out. Strike called on Keyshaw. A 2-hit night, a stolen base. He has scored 2 of the 10 Twins runs.
And it sounds like we got some boos in the ballpark, but we're getting some Luke chants. Pretty good to hear in your home ballpark on opening day.
Keyshaw skies it to left with the rain falling. Simpson, does he see it? He does. Anything but routine. The rain falling here late tonight. Let's take a look at the Twins' upcoming schedule, brought to you by Progressive. 5:30, we join you here on Twins TV tomorrow night. And a day game Sunday, we'll see the Tigers for 4. Starting on Monday night, then the Twins are back on the road in Toronto. But the Twins have a ton of home games early on this season. Kind of a different layout than what the Twins have had in more recent years.
Well, it makes sense to play a dome team that you only play once a year for your home opener.
So I'm glad you brought that up. There is a reason behind that. Tampa Bay is playing its 3rd straight series on the road, as the Rays opened up in St. Louis, then Milwaukee, and now here. You may say, why are the Twins playing the Rays at this point of the season here instead of down in Florida? I mentioned earlier that Hurricane Milton just destroyed so much of the west coast of Florida a couple of years ago, including taking the roof off Tropicana Field, so much so that the Rays played, as I said, their home games last year up in Tampa at the Yankees spring training home. So what the Rays and Major League Baseball worked out, Tropicana Field is open, but just to finish up some modifications and just make sure everything is where it needs to be, the Rays asked MLB if Tampa Bay could open with 3 on the road, 3 series on the road, and then be ready for the home opener next week. And that's why the Rays are doing that and have done that, playing 3 straight series on the road just to make sure the Tropicana Field is fully ready to go. There you go. Matt Wallner, 0 for 5, 5 strikeouts. Josh Bell, ball 1.
If there's a roof on the place and you can avoid playing in this,
yeah,
is it more ready 4 days? That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah,
it makes no sense to me.
My understanding that the panels went back, the roof, if you will, were installed in November. Like that was done in November, and then everything else has taken some time. We'll be there soon. The Twins are going to Tropicana Field at the end of the month. The 1-1 to Bell. That'll get fouled.
I'm interested to see how the panels on the roof, if it's even more white than it was before, how difficult it's going to be for those fielders trying to see that ball off the bat. It was already difficult. We experienced it in the Metrodome. You go down there, it was wasn't as bad in Tampa, but be really interested to see how bright it is and if the fielders are able to pick up those fly balls.
Is that guy using the helmet for like water? Was he saying, hey, let's... And a pitch clock violation has been called on Gomez. So it's a 2-2 count. I think Bell's going to swing. Yeah, I'm just saying, you know what? The rain's falling. 6-run lead here in the 8th inning.
That thought should never cross your mind as a hitter.
But
your thought is, I want to get a hit right here. 3 for 5 sounds a lot better than 2 for 4. Which is still a good day.
Oh, look out. Thankfully that net is there.
Yep.
Cody Lorison. Looks like he'll have the 9th inning. Rays have the top of the order. Coming up. Bell punches it in the air, but drifting out is Williamson. And the inning is over. 9th inning coming up. Twins are 3 outs away from a home opening win.
Well, the rain is falling. Twins are up 10-4, top 9. This copyright telecast is presented by authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent. Minnesota Twins.
Great to see folks back here at the ballpark as we work our way through the concourse down the right field line and to the stage. Twins post game. Moments away, Jim Rich and Tim Laudner. Timmy's in hair and makeup right now. Getting ready for the award-winning Twins post-game show.
Puddles are starting. Everyone wants to get this thing over.
Cody Lorison is pitching and Yandy Diaz is the batter. And this is not Diaz. His spot due up, and he is not hitting. This is Ryan Vilade. Swing and a miss, hung onto by Jeffers, and Vilade is out number 1.
That was filthy. This is why catchers wear thumb guards right here. Look at the movement on this ball. Right down on the web. Nice job of holding on.
Intensity of the rain certainly is picked up here. Jonathan Aranda is 0 for 4. Last chance for him to keep his on-base streak going. He's reached base safely in a career best 20 straight games. Out inside as Lorison checks his landing spot.
This is the only thing you get concerned with.
100%.
Pitchers, and you're throwing the ball as hard as they do, from as close as they do, and all of a sudden it just takes one slip of the foot. You don't want to see something bad happen.
And also just trying to find any semblance of a grip too on the ball, for the batter's safety.
It's one thing if it's rainy and it's 65 degrees. If it's rainy and it's 35, fingers are already a little bit numb. Then you're trying to find a dry spot in your uniform or wherever you can find it.
The rosin bags often are replaced every half inning, every inning. When the conditions get like this, the 1-2 to Aranda, chopped over the mound. On the dirt, it's Keyshaw making the play with the stretch and the catch from Clemens. Boy, Keyshaw had to navigate the dirt, the infield. A lot of moisture on the ground, and Keyshaw made the play 2 down.
Nice job of getting around this ball, picking it, and nice job by Clemens. Saving him an error there.
2 down, and Caminero. A 2-hit game, but a couple of more errors for Caminero here in the game tonight. Now just 1 error for Caminero after the scoring change in the 7th inning. The Rays with 3 errors as a team, and now 12 overall this season to lead baseball. To right center field, and Outman makes the play, and this one is over, and the Twins win their first home opener since 2023. Down 3-0 comeback with a 10-4 win. Tristan Gray a grand slam, Josh Bell a couple of runs driven in as well. Twins are now 3-4. Rays fall to 2-5. Stay tuned. Tristan's going to be joined by Audra in a moment. Twins